Hi, welcome along to the Don Robbie channel. It is race day here on our F1 show. We've got the brilliant Matt from the off circuit.
Mate.
He's in the building and we are getting ready for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Big one, this one. We know that we're running out of races now. Max Verstappen is leading the title race and we had a crazy qualifying. It was a sprint race, but we had a crazy qualifying. And Matt, you know what? First of all, before we get into the race is going to be starting off in about 15 minutes time. I want you, first of all, in your brilliant style, to break down what happened yesterday. Because it was absolutely, this season in F1's been crazy, but again, it was another crazy qualifying.
Do you know something? We've said this before. I think it's been one of the best Formula One seasons for decades. It's been a long time since we've had a battle as ferocious as this. I'm going to throw this one out there, Robbie. And by the way, obviously, I meant to start by saying it's so good to be back. I'm so glad we're doing this. I think we've had an overwhelming reaction. People have been gassed in the comments, looking forward to this. So glad we're doing it. Yesterday, correct me if I'm wrong, people in the comments, I believe that yesterday is the greatest Saturday in Formula One history. I don't think we've seen a Saturday like it.
I love the way you hype things.
I do hype it, because then you go, well, what really happens on a Saturday?
Why? Why was that so great?
No, listen, we've seen shocking Saturdays. We've seen, we've seen the loss of lives in qualifying to get, serious over the last few decades. We've seen crazy crashes. We've seen people come from nowhere and put in an amazing last-ditch lap to just about clinch it. But what we saw yesterday is this new sprint format, which is this, quick 24-lap race, no pit stops, no funny business, no messing around. Get out there, do some shit hot laps. We'll see who wins it for the qualifying position. And we see Lewis Hamilton do what no one has ever been able to do. He has come from last place and gained 15 places up to 5th place in 24 laps. That makes him, there's a stat about that is the greatest overtaking performance of all time by distance. Because it was only 24 laps.
It was unbelievable. I saw him do one right at the end of it on Lando Norris.
Oh, what a move.
What a move. He just dived. He's just an unbelievable driver.
I just think, you know what it is for me? That is Lewis Hamilton when he's feeling himself. Like, he's had setback after setback this year. I think he's not quite got into the same groove and rhythm that we've seen him over the last 7 or 8 years. And yesterday, I think the moment that he took Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari just before that, that was him in his zone going, right, we're doing Lando Norris as well for 5th. So actually, a 10th place start today after a 5th place penalty is an unbelievable result.
Right, we're going to talk about the penalties and that in a minute, right? Naveen, by the way, he says this is the best Formula One season since Senna and Prost. Ooh. Now, despite the fact that, the previous day, Hamilton was the fastest, right? Now, however, as you said, he's got a grid penalty. And he's got almost like 2 grid penalties, because he got a grid penalty because he changed the engine in his car. Yeah. And if you change that, you get a grid penalty. He had to drop 5 places.
Exactly right.
Right? But now I want you to explain the other penalties he's got, because first of all, the big drama on Friday. First of all, accusations that Mercedes have been cheating. Yeah. Right, with something to do with the sort of flap on their car, the wing.
DRS, yeah.
Right,
exactly.
the DRS flap. And then also Max Verstappen getting into a lot of trouble because he was touching cars and that in a zone where you're not supposed to trouble them. And tell us what happened. Tell us the outcome. For all the people who don't really understand what's gone on with it.
So you're quite right that there are 2 separate incidents that have affected Lewis Hamilton this weekend. The first one, actually, we knew was happening before Friday's qualifying, which was Lewis has made the decision to take another engine component. They've done that because it seemed that his new engine in Mexico was leaking a little bit of water last week. They claim that's why they didn't have the race pace to push Max further last week. So they take the 5th place hit. As normal, you would then qualify on the Friday. You take pole position, which he did there. You can then compete for pole position again on the Saturday in the sprint race, and then he would take his 5th place penalty today. What happened is
start from 5th
and start from 6th. Yeah, down from 1st down into 6th place. What actually happened in the end was I've never seen anything like this happen. So at the end of qualifying, Max Verstappen was absolutely flabbergasted that Lewis Hamilton was as quick as he was. He was almost half a second faster than Max in qualifying. Half a second in Formula One terms is a lifetime. It's a year. So Max is there like, hang on, I know my car's quicker. We'd expect him to be a bit quicker with his new engine, but half a second? That's maybe a swing. When Max has been 0.3 quicker than Lewis all season, there's maybe an almost second swing here. How have Mercedes found it? So Max did what you cannot do under Parc Fermé rules. Tell me if I'm going too quick for you. Parc Fermé is a French word. It simply means closed park. So we enter Parc Fermé from the start of qualifying right up until the race. That means mechanics, engineers, other drivers, you cannot touch your car, you can't mend your car up, you can't improve your car once we enter the closed park. Lewis Hamilton has run his car, we're all in Parc Fermé, and Max Verstappen has got out, he's touched his own car, and then you can see a video of it, we posted it on our Instagram. He walks then straight up to the back of Lewis's car and has a little play with it. And then begins the mind game. So the stewards...
But he had a little play with it, in all fairness to him, because he knew that Mercedes had been cheating.
I think he knew something was up.
He knew something was wrong.
We know all the facts now, so I'm actually going to call bullshit on Max Verstappen on this one. So at the time, all that we know is the stewards then pull in Mercedes and say, we think that we need to look and measure the DRS flap zone. So what that means is the DRS is on the rear wing, and it's the bit that you see open to allow a reduction in drag for a car to gain an overtaking advantage, yeah? That's allowed to be 85 millimeters deep. Any more than that, it would be cheating because it would be less drag and therefore they would gain more of an advantage, yeah? So Max has gone, I think that that's not quite right. And he's supposedly gone on there and gone, it's way too big, they're cheating. So Mercedes call him in. Mercedes then say, well, if you're pulling us in, you need to pull in Max Verstappen for touching our car. So it's a bit of tit for tat going on. So the stewards then pull in Max Verstappen. They then leave us hanging all day right up till before the sprint race to give us the result, which is Max is fined €50,000, no penalties, bit of a slap on the wrist, stop touching people's cars. I'm not surprised, no. I think it wouldn't have been right to go harder on that. And there was people out there, and some people on our Instagram disagree with me on this, you know, saying, well, Mercedes' accusation is Max has broken the car. And I'm there going, that rear wing is built to withstand the downforce and the serious G's of hundreds of miles an hour around a corner, lap after lap. And you can see in the video, he barely touches it. Yeah. So I don't believe he has actually, but he does need a slap on the wrist. You can't touch another person's car, whatever you do when you touch it. So I'm happy with that. Lewis then, it is said as they come out, and this is now, they've only just released this in the last hour or two in the technical notes, Lewis's wing is found to be not for regulation. It is more than 85 millimeters. So Lewis was then disqualified from qualifying. Now, all that meant really for Lewis is you'll, instead of starting first in the sprint race, you'll start last, and then whatever you do, we'll still subtract 5 for Sunday. Yeah?
Which we know, and of course yesterday in the sprint race, he was absolutely incredible.
I mean, the FIA nailed it, I think, because Max fans can't sit there and say Lewis wasn't penalised enough because he got dropped all the way to the back from first. So you say, okay, that's fair. And I don't think anybody was expecting him to come through. And it's not often we get uniting moments for Formula One fans, especially this late in the season. But let me tell you, Robbie, every Formula One fan everywhere was applauding Lewis Hamilton yesterday. Even the Max fans were in the DMs going, I actually can't believe what an amazing drive Lewis has put in today. Now, do you want the stat? Do you know how much they've found Lewis's wing to be out by?
How much?
It is 0.2 millimeters is how much it is out by. So we're talking, it's fucking bullshit.
So do you think they've done it deliberately, or do you think that's just an error?
I can't, 0.2 millimeter, I can't even show you how small that is. A millimeter is small, you know, 0.2 of a mil. So I'm there, I don't want to hear any accusation that Lewis Hamilton's cheating, Mercedes are trying to cheat their way through.
So you think it's just an error?
I do, and I don't know how Max knew about that.
That error
at
coincided.
0.2 mil, you couldn't have seen that.
But the error coincided with the car being so quick.
It really did. It really did. New engine definitely is a big help here at this point. Lewis knows this track. He's been racing here now for, I think, 13, 14 years, coming in every year. Yeah, so, I mean, that's catching everybody up. Sorry, if that was boring, we've really gone through it all there.
And of course now, what it does mean is that Lewis is going to start, you know, further down the grid. You start in 10th place. 10th
place today.
Right, and you said something really crazy to me before the race. So I'm going to get to that in a minute, actually. Let's do a couple of super chats here. Fanny says, shootout between Sainz to match the even potentially beat Leclerc in the first season in Ferrari is immense. Not spoken about that enough. You can touch on that. But you said something a bit crazy to me earlier. You said to me that you think Lewis could win this race. Now,
there's a difference between could and will.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
Right.
I thought you was on the drinks already because I'm like, well, you are. You know, because
I am. We're not
if
messing
he's starting from 10th.
He is.
How is he going to pass Bottas? How's he going to pass Verstappen?
Well, you don't need to worry about
I
Bottas.
think he's lost the title.
You don't need to worry about Bottas. Bottas will be told to get out of the way, especially if Max isn't behind Bottas. I think for me, honestly, Mercedes' hope today, they'll be happy if Bottas wins, Max second, Lewis third. It means that Max only takes a 3-point advantage on Lewis, and if Lewis gets fastest lap as well, then we're likely to see actually maybe only a 2-point difference there. If Lewis can do the business in the pit lane today and somehow can undercut Max, I think he'll do the opposite to Max Verstappen, then we could see something different. And mark my words, if Lewis Hamilton passes Max Verstappen, Bottas will not finish ahead of Lewis. They will tell him, under no circumstance.
You think his car's quick enough to catch Verstappen?
Yeah, we saw it yesterday, with more laps, only in 24 laps. He made up 15 places. I think you're going to be surprised how quickly you're going to see Lewis go from 10th to probably 6th or maybe even 5th today.
Then he's got the danger at the start of the race of all the traffic in front of him.
He does.
Trying to get, that's the other thing he's got to negotiate. You've seen in quite a lot of races.
Yeah.
That little pack, when someone gets taken out
it's
of that.
It's dangerous, yeah.
It happens a lot.
It really does. Now, this is the Lewis that, if you are a Lewis fan out there, you've kind of grown to love, is watching Lewis cut through a track. I don't think anybody does it quite like Lewis Hamilton.
All right, Luke C says, do you think Carlos Sainz can finish on the podium? Obviously starting in a great position for Ferrari. And Sainz, of course, is starting from third on the grid.
Listen, Sainz...
Bottas first, Verstappen second on the grid.
Yeah.
Sainz in third, Perez, of course, a Red Bull in fourth. And then, who we got in fifth there?
Lando Norris.
Sorry, Lando Norris fifth.
Yeah.
Leclerc in sixth, Gasly seventh, Ocon eighth, Vettel in ninth, and then Hamilton in 10th place.
Let me tell you that I'm so glad actually that you guys are here. This isn't all about Lewis and Max. We're getting near the end of the season, so of course that's going to be a big talking point. But wow, Carlos Sainz was unbelievable yesterday. When we say one of the best Saturdays ever, it's not just because of what Lewis did. Actually, there was a battle where Max was chasing Bottas the whole way through for first. Perez was chasing Sainz, and how Carlos Sainz managed to hold on. His tyres were degrading quickly. He was on the soft tyre yesterday, whereas most others were on the medium. He did an insane job in that Ferrari. I don't think we're expecting him on the podium today. I think his job is just going to be to slow Perez as much as possible today.
Okay, well, they're showing Lewis Hamilton's car. Notice how they're focusing on the wing.
Oh, come on.
the wing area.
0.2 mil.
Can he pull out a miracle? 0.2 millimeters. How do you even measure that?
You don't. It's interesting, actually, this Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc putting in a performance today. The McLaren's a little bit further down. They're running 5 and 11 from the starting grid today. So, Ferrari are in the driving seat for third place now. Great to see that. If you're a Ferrari fan out there, they've been kept in the mud for too long now. This season, there's so much to look at still. Right,
some more comments. There's loads of them coming in. Wuss Poppy Man says...
Have we upset enough people yet?
He says, laugh out loud, Robbie, F1 specialist now.
I love it.
Matt is the specialist. I'm just an F1 lover. Kimmy says, Bottas needs to slow Max without letting him overtake. Matt C says, Matt knows this, but I'm always rooting for Sainz.
Yeah,
he says,
true.
Right. Bottas is a bottle job, says Free Donny. Ever since he lost his place in the Mercedes team, he's been getting pole positions and winning races and stuff like that.
And I think here's what happened yesterday, Robbie.
Pressure's off.
I think I saw, for a brief moment, I don't know if I imagined it or I saw it, I think Bottas, while he was driving in the lead there, he took his hand off the steering wheel and he rummaged around down there and he found his testicles yesterday, Robbie, and he's held on for the win. And if he can just remember to harness the power of his God-given testicles today, he can keep Max behind him. He is capable of it, but he has been a bottle job and he has been messing that up. That is interesting on the formation lap.
Now, it looked like Verstappen was even going out ahead of him on the formation lap, but the formation lap has begun. Again, this is where they start wiggling their cars around to warm up the tyres.
And if it's a formation lap, we've got to start pouring the Willet.
We've got to start pouring the Willet.
Come on.
Explain that again. You explained it beautifully last week, why the teams when they're doing that formation lap, they move their. My son's always asked me that, Dad, why are they moving their car like that around? Why?
Simply, it's about getting as much temperature as possible into the tyres. The warmer your tyres are, the more they're going to stick and glue-like onto the track for going around corners quicker. Obviously, the tyres, once they come out of the electric blankets, are cooling down at a rate of knots. So literally, by forcing friction between the tarmac and the rubber, they're going to keep those tyres nice and warm.
All right. Aaron says Max is going to win without a doubt.
Love it.
Neil says, come on, let's go, Max. And Vinny says Hamilton yesterday was on fire. Luke MEFC says, I'm nervous. Yeah, this is going to be some race. I'm really looking for it.
Perfect stream is here. Does Matt have a full duvet bedroom set along with PJs? No, but listen, if Lewis wins this championship, I'd be happy to buy one. Unbelievable.
Tamisho says, do you think that the Red Bull's focusing less than Mercedes on the F1 reg changes will have consequences?
Yeah, there's a theory out there that Mercedes basically, after the first few races, took their eye off this season and started developing next year. Yeah, come on, this is going to be it.
Let's stay a toast. So who are you going for? Who are you guys going for out there? Who are you going for the win?
I honestly, Bottas, Max, Lewis.
I think Verstappen will take it.
You got it?
Verstappen, Bottas, Perez, Lewis.
Woo! Interesting.
This is so good.
The sweet nectar. You want to know something as well? Robbie walks in today and he says, I've just bought myself a bottle, actually. So it's that good.
I got a bottle that Willie on Amazon. I love that bottle as well, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's so
anyway,
good.
The teams are pulling up now. You're about ready to go. Your friend there, Mazepan, at the back.
Our best pal, yeah. He cried. We'll talk about it later. You asked me about it. He was crying after qualifying.
Yeah, I heard about that. Right. They're getting
Robbie.
ready. Matt will talk us through the lights out as the lights are about to go up. They're
Watch
showing
Max on the start.
Yesterday, what is Max going to do on the start?
Max really struggled. He got his gears all wrong in his start yesterday, which allowed Bottas to take the lead. He's going to want to come back from that. Here we go, Robbie. It's lights out and away we go. Bottas looks good, actually. I'm happy with the start. Max is right alongside him already. Max Verstappen's done it.
Verstappen's got past
Norris is off the track. Max been a little bit aggressive, elbows out, but he's done everything he needs to do.
Verstappen is ahead. Verstappen is ahead. It looks like Perez is in third place.
Oh my days, the
Ferraris are fourth and fifth. And that is a brilliant start there for Max Verstappen.
And Perez is coming on Bottas now.
Perez has just done. Bottas has gone wide and Perez has taken him. It's a terrible start for Mercedes.
I told you.
Bottas down in third place. Look at Hamilton.
Come on, Lewis. Let's go now.
Round Gasly coming through there. Hamilton is already.
He's done Gasly. He's going for Vettel.
Oh, I think he looked close like he could touch there, but Verstappen is away.
I told you about Bottas, Robbie. Bollokless Bottas all year long. I've been giving him stick and people say, lay off the guy.
Look at Hamilton, though. He's still trying to fly around. He's made up loads of...
Three places already, Robbie.
Loads of places already.
And he's got Vettel ahead of him now. I think Vettel's had a good start as well, also gained 3 places. Lando Norris having a bit of a
Alpine
shocker.
there trying to go past Norris. Norris is
all the way at the back. That's Danny Rick that's up to 9th. Oh, poor old Lando Norris's race looks like it's being ruined.
You can see there,
Robbie, I've been
out in front. Sergio Perez in second. A disastrous Lewis Hamilton there, moving up again. Moving up again there. He's now into 6th place.
I've been so right to not back Bottas all year long. Those of you that gave me stick about it, honestly.
How did he get done by both of them?
Bollokless. Nothing going
Look at
on
Hamilton
between
there, coming
legs.
up now. He's onto the Ferraris.
Going for Sainz.
He's onto the Ferraris. It's unbelievable.
Mate, you questioned how quickly Lewis could get through. We're only on the 2nd lap. He's already up to 6th. Unbelievable from Lewis Hamilton.
So how's Bottas in the same car?
Mate,
I can't
tell me about it. Anybody who's been sticking up for Bottas through the years, and when I've been really letting him have it, you can
even
just
in
see
the last
difference.
race, isn't he? Lando Norris there coming into the pits. Obviously done a bit of damage there on that first lap, but disastrous start for Lando Norris.
Now he doesn't have to stop again now, so if he can pull off the impossible, he could make that hard tyre last the rest of the race. I mean, it's almost impossible.
Look at Hamilton, he's right up onto the Ferraris
already. Let's go,
already.
Lewis. No time to lose, Lewis. Oh, Robbie, honestly, I'm a mixture of emotions. Obviously, I'm happy to see Lewis coming through, but I am honestly disappointed with Bottas's start there. He's opened the door straight for Max Verstappen. Don't get me wrong.
Here comes Lewis Hamilton.
Let's go.
He's gone past the Ferrari.
So easy.
Easy take there of the Ferrari, and he is flying through the field. Lewis Hamilton is flying at the moment.
Dream start yesterday for Carlos Sainz, but not today. All the way down to
Verstappen
6th.
out in front, which is not great for Lewis Hamilton.
Now, let me tell you right now, Robbie, the key for Lewis Hamilton's race now is to not allow Max Verstappen to just go ahead and get a 10-second advantage now. So he has to use this next few laps to get through the next few cars and put the pressure on the Red Bulls. As we watch the start again, this is Lando Norris from 5th place. He's done everything right there.
He did a very risky move there, didn't he?
And I think he's been caught,
He looks like he got clipped.
by Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, he looks like he got clipped. Yeah, he definitely got clipped.
And he must have picked up a puncture, and that's why we've seen him come out. Now, Carlos Sainz started in 3rd place, already down to 6th as he's tried to defend. And
Yeah,
you
no,
can
he's
see
clipped him. He's caught his tyre.
Carlos and Lando battling again. Them two will have a laugh about that.
I think you can't blame Sainz there. Norris is,
I don't
it's
know.
a very daring move to try and bolt down the inside.
Daring's allowed, and you do see, I believe, that Sainz has turned in on the right-hand side there. I think he's just got to leave the car's width.
Louis Ashton says Daniel Ricciardo is washed. Not great for him again, Daniel Ricciardo, ever since...
I don't know, he...
doing well in that race.
I think he qualified 11th, and I think he's up to 9th. I think he's got time to come good today. But this is the Red Bull show, and where Toto was hoping for a 1 and 3 maybe for Mercedes today, it's now looking like a 1-2 for Red Bull. Yeah. Look at Bottas there.
Awful.
Dreadful.
It's in the last race, when I watched that last race back, the way he let through the Red Bulls. I was chatting to my friend. I've got a friend who works at Williams.
Yeah.
And he was saying that's what they were all saying. They were all saying
it's just
the way he opened the gate was ridiculous.
Now, don't get me wrong. It can't be blamed for what's happened with Max. Max got an amazing start off the line. He's come up the inside with confidence, and he's just held out. And that is exactly what an aggressive, talented Formula One driver is capable of. Lewis does it. Max does it. They're both alike like that. So I'm not mad at him for that. But then the way that he's got no traction through the next few corners, and he's just allowed Perez to breeze through. Perez here has gone from 4th to 2nd. And we see Gasly just tangling with... Oh, no, Tsunoda with Lance Stroll at the back there.
Your friend.
Yeah.
Your friend Lance Stroll.
My man.
When it's all happening, FIBA Jab says Bottas is the Tottenham of this Formula One.
Yeah, great.
Xavi says that he thinks Lewis will get on the end. Time is always right, says Bottas bottled it. And Lewis up to 4th, as we know. 4th place already after only a couple of laps. What a driver. 5 laps gone. And Lewis Hamilton already up into 4th place.
And the fastest man on track.
And he's chasing down Bottas.
He's done Bottas. Boom.
He's gone past Bottas.
Done him. And he's the fastest man on track. Now, Bottas would not have thought that at all. That's a case of comfort.
Bottas would have probably let him through a bit?
100%. Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Come on, Bottas, man.
Bottas is in enough trouble as it is with how his start of his race has gone, without then keeping his teammate behind him. He needs to let Lewis go. Now, those of you that are still saying, Lewis for a podium today? Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes, Lewis for a podium today. He's already there.
I don't know what I'm going to do if Lewis was to win this, after all the grief I gave you.
Yeah.
Now, what about...
we need to give you some sticks somehow.
What about the possible of an undercut? And can you explain to everybody out there what the undercut is again? I know you did last week.
Totally. We're going to try and do it as quick as possible.
New people watching today, I'm sure.
Totally.
The undercut.
So we've got undercut and overcut. They're two terms that are talked about when it comes to pit stops. The undercut is when you come in before the cars ahead of you, you change your tyres. When you come out, you then go fast as you fucking can on your new tyres. By the time the guy in front has pitted, he'll then come out behind you. So you will have achieved an overtake with an undercut. So you're going to overtake them by the time they've come in and done the pit lane. An overcut is exactly the same in reverse. Instead of coming in early, you're going to stay out long, and everyone else is going to pit, and you're still going to be out, and you're still going to be going
quick. Try and get as
quick.
far ahead as you can.
And you're going to build a lead, and then you're going to come in, you're going to change your tyres, and when you come out, you're still going to be ahead of the guys that you've built the lead over. So today, people were asking me earlier in the DMs, very technical questions. They're saying, do you think Lewis is going to go for the undercut or the overcut today? Simply, my only response to that is, Lewis will do the opposite of Max Verstappen. If Max comes in, I think Lewis will stay and go long. Hope for a safety car or something. If Max is looking like he's staying out, then Lewis will come in, and it'll be interesting to see whether Red Bull immediately cover Lewis or whether they've got their own confidence in their strategy to stay out.
I don't know if you saw that on the team radios there, Lewis Hamilton thanking Bottas. Bottas did let him through.
There you go.
So So he's on.
Some people don't like to see it. I'd love to know, people in the chat, do you like seeing team orders?
Look, there's something.
Yeah, that's Yuki Tsunoda's front wing.
Front wing on the car, so
we've seen him. This was his altercation with Stroll.
They've got to follow the safety car.
Yes.
This could make it interesting.
So now it's too early in the race for drivers to gain an advantage for a pit stop here. There's no point coming in for your free pit stop now because you can't make it to the end. But if this was in another 15 laps time, you would see him diving in the pit lane now. Some people would really be winners in that and others.
But this bunches things up now, doesn't it?
This bunches things up.
It bunches things up.
Get excited.
It does mean that, we've seen it in the last race that Bottas is very, very good at this. He slows it right down, speeds it up, slows it down, then just tears off. But it slowed it right down. It's brought everybody back into the pack.
Big time. Now, we talked about race restarts last time. Max is going to know exactly what he's going to want to do. He'll have the plan of how early he's going to go before he even gets to that white line there. But I think we'll get 2 or 3 laps of this.
Dale says, who's your favourite underdog driver?
All right. Hear me out on this one, right? I'm going to disclude George Russell because he's got a Mercedes.
Russell's mine.
Yeah, and I think for me...
Because I met him and he was such a nice guy.
Oh, and I love Russell. I can't wait to see him at Mercedes. I'm only going to discount him because I don't feel he's an underdog anymore. I think people know what to expect from him. So,
Mazepin?
Hear me out. It's not fucking Mazepin. He moves out of Formula One. I'm going to go with Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know that's a little bit rogue. I've got him on my poster here. He's on my shoulder as a one-to-watch rookie. I don't mind his attitude. I don't mind that bit of fire in his belly. And I know he swears a little bit, but who fucking doesn't? So I'm happy for that. I really want to see him getting to the kind of form that he was in Formula 2 before. I'm really glad to see that they've kept him in for another year.
I like Ocon.
Oh, Ocon. And another great example of a underdog driver. Great to see him get a win this year.
A good driver. Tell Valtteri to follow me. Just keep going. Let's get these guys.
Oh, Lewis!
Lewis. So Hamilton's feeling very confident.
Oh shit! Lewis coming in the pit lane.
Lewis coming into the pits. Is that?
Oh no, they're taking everybody through the pit. Okay,
taking everybody through the pit.
I was going to say, holy fuck, that's crazy.
Why they do that? Why they
so this is just so that they can
clear the track.
Yeah. So they'll make that call. It means now the marshals will be standing on the track, sweeping away debris. Now, what you saw there from the wing, the way that it came off, it snapped off. These cars are made of, the
carbon
fiber and all that, razor sharp. Little fragments of that on a corner on a track is going to be a disaster for everybody. You're going to be getting punctures, race finish. So they need to spend some time sweeping the track and making sure they make it clear. Look at Perez's start here.
Great start by Perez.
Do you know something? I'm a big Sergio Perez fan. Really pleased to see him having a strong end to the season, like he did last season. It would have been the biggest travesty in F1 if he didn't get a seat this year. And I think he deserves that second seat at Red Bull.
Michelle Julian says, boring sport.
Classic. Always people swinging in.
Just
watch it. Just join us.
No chance is it boring. And especially, listen, we know that in years gone by, there's been people saying, it's been a bit of a procession. Not this season. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's been entertaining. It's been toe-to-toe. You've got 2 unbelievable drivers out there in Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton.
Totally.
And that's just to mention 2 of the great drivers out there. So, no chance. I'm not having that. Ranuk says, Don Robbie hanging out with Post Malone. Yes, Post Malone is back in the building.
I'll take it.
Post Malone back in the building. Safety car is still out.
You probably think
Max
that you're all
Verstappen
better
right beyond
now.
that safety car. Does that mess with the cars? They've got to slow down.
It really does. You talk about tyre temperature and things. Everything's cooling down now. The brakes are cooling, which isn't a terrible thing, but the tyres are cooling right down, which gives them no grip for the restart. So they actually, you'll see that the safety car, they'll give them a warning of when it pulls away. And when it does pull away, you'll see them all slow down and go like fucking crazy to get some heat.
Listen, different sport here, right? But Dale Hallowell, and Dale, you're right to say this, he says, can we respect the work Valentino Rossi has put in?
Oh, massive.
Valentino Rossi,
absolutely,
of course, who is retiring.
Yeah, the undisputed GOAT, when it comes to MotoGP.
When it comes to MotoGP, man, unbelievable. That MotoGP thing, I don't get how to get. That's so dangerous, man.
Knee right on the floor.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
It must be exhilarating.
Enjoy your retirement, man. I bet his wife is happy.
Yeah.
That is one of the most dangerous things you can do. But no, Valentino Rossi, an absolute legend. They're coming through the pit lane again, so you're right about that Kaiben Faber. It must be all over the place.
Yeah, totally. They've got to sweep it up.
I've not seen that. I've not seen that, where they're having to come through the pit lane before now.
Yeah, I think they'll only do it, obviously, if the crash is anywhere near the pit lane to gain the advantage. So with it being on the straight there, that's the time to do it.
Matthew says, I think he's coming back again. He says, F1 has lost its appeal. I don't agree with that either.
Ooh.
He says there's too much inequality in the engines. There needs to be more of an equal playing field for all the drivers. Well, I think next year you're going to see.
And you know
tell
what?
us about the next year. There's going to be a lot of changes.
To address Matthew before that, you know something? You're just a couple of years out of date, man. This season, they've been bunched up together. We've seen a Renault, effectively, an Alpine win a race. We've seen McLaren win races. Red Bull really take it to Mercedes. This has not been a one-team dominance at all this year. Ferrari, McLaren, right up there for the third place. No, it is absolutely not too weighted. I think from 2010, to last year, yes, but no, we're in a new era now.
Yes, makes me laugh. His answer to that guy is don't watch. That's a bit hard, yes. Yeah. That's a bit hard, yes. Right, now, right. It's clear now, so they're going to resume racing at the end of this lap. They have cleared all of the debris off the track. That means a safety car will come in.
They said Hazard's now clear. I didn't know he'd be at the Formula One.
He's got jokes today, Matt as well.
Yeah, come on.
If you could have a race in a country, where would it be, says Dale?
Not even just a country, a continent. We need to go back to Africa, not just saying it. There's been some amazing races there, 70s and 80s. I would love to see it, whether it's South Africa or somewhere else. I can't believe we're not there.
And Formula One's racing through the Dakar Desert, maybe?
Oh, yeah, I'm in for it. The temperatures will be wild,
Imagine the mechanics then.
Now, here we go, guys. This is the restart.
Right, here's coming to the restart.
There's your white line. No, sorry, we've got a white line coming up later.
Verstappen slowed it right down again.
And there is...
Oh, what are they doing?
That is, we're waiting for the white line. There's just so many fucking white lines here. So it's going to be the start-finish by the looks of it. So Max chooses when
there
they
he
go.
Goes. There
no
he
one
goes.
can overtake
Off
until now. And it's a good start from the Red Bulls. Lewis is getting a toe, don't forget, down there. Little lock-up from Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. A couple of birds in the way. It's a good start from Max Verstappen, pulling away from his teammate.
Verstappen's away again.
Now look at Bottas. This is what Lewis said. Get right up behind me, Valtteri. Take the toe. And he's going with him. And his job now, you see how Bottas is actually protecting his teammate there.
Yeah.
He swung out to stop Charles Leclerc coming round. Great drive, actually, from Bottas, thinking about his teammate. But Red Bull, you can relax, Red Bull fans, as here comes Charles Leclerc on Valtteri Bottas
come on the
now.
Inside of him. They've got some pace in that Ferrari, haven't they?
They do, over short distances. They seem to be able to do it. Valtteri should be able to hold on here, though. But this is Valtteri we're talking about. Max fans, you can relax. Away goes Max Verstappen now, 1.3 seconds in the lead.
May says, Robbie, you found another good presenter.
Oh, dear, I don't know about that.
Quality.
What, is X coming in later, is he? Is that what you're saying?
He's quality, mate. Who needs X when you got Post Malone?
Yeah, well, quite. Love that.
Quality. Now, it's still really bunched up now. It's just
really bunched.
That's what I love about a safety car. It just sort of brings the race.
It really does. Yeah, we've not seen many in the last few races.
No, we haven't.
Now look at Lewis. He is not letting Perez go down the straight there. There's no DRS here. So that is just your natural speed of the car and maybe getting a little bit of a toe.
Oh, somebody's under investigation.
Yeah, so this is the wing loss.
Your boy UK Sonoda and Stroll.
Yeah.
Your other friend, Stroll.
My best pal, Stroll. Yeah, another one who can get in the bin for me. Let's go Lewis now. We're just seeing him. I think he's just too far back to be able to really gain an advantage on the back of Perez there.
It'll be interesting though, because there's a lot of time left in this race.
Mate,
how has this guy managed to come from the back of the grid?
Yeah.
Yesterday, he was disqualified. He started the sprint from last.
Last to fifth in 24 laps.
And then had to drop down to 11th, and now he's in third place.
Yeah, 10th. But yeah, you're right. Up from 10th to 3rd, and he'd done that within a few laps.
Oh,
and
there's another car there. There's another car there. Mick Schumacher there. And his wing's gone as well. He's got no wing.
So we could be looking at another safety car here.
Yeah. They got another wing ready for him, but he must have been hit as well. And he's drawing the wing underneath his car, isn't it? That's not great.
Not going to be good for him at all. Thankfully.
And that's going to be put in there. You see debris there flying all over the track.
Oh dear.
So again, we can look probably to see another safety car. The debris flying all over the track. It's Mick Schumacher. And again, he's been clipped here, isn't it? Let's see.
We're going to see it now as he comes inside. He's not done anything wrong.
Oh, there he goes. He gets clipped twice.
So I think, is it Kimi Räikkönen there that we're seeing, or is it Giovinazzi? They're both next to each other, so it's hard to see it. But I don't think Mick Schumacher's in the wrong there.
No, he's not in the wrong. I don't think he's in the wrong either.
I think he's got to just hold his line there, and he is. He's turning left, and he's been hit.
Dale says, Matt, who was that little Brazil driver in the mid-2000s?
Oh, we're talking Felipe Massa. And yeah, they were just showing some footage. I don't know if you saw it. Heartbreaking scene. So Felipe Massa in 2008, as a Brazilian, won the Brazilian Grand Prix, and his entire family, it was the last race of the season, and everybody believed that he'd won the World Championship for Ferrari with that win. So everybody's celebrating. His mum and dad are getting emotional in the garage. They're all going nuts. And then it comes about that everybody's favourite villain, Lewis Hamilton, had done just enough to secure his first ever World Championship there in Brazil and took it away from Massa. Heartbreaking moment to watch.
Took the wing off there. They've taken the wing off of Schumacher's cars. All the cars have been ordered to decrease their speed by 40%.
Yeah, so we're a virtual safety car, and that is just while they look to see how bad it is on track. They could still call a full safety car. So again, no overtaking, reduce your speed. They can go a lot faster, though, than they can behind a physical safety car. You can see they actually look like they're going okay.
Vinny says, thoughts on Lewis Hamilton in this race so far?
Lewis Hamilton in this race so far,
He's been phenomenal.
Faultless.
Yeah.
Hasn't put a foot wrong, has cleared all the, we can't call them back markers because they're not, that'd be disrespectful, Robbie, but he's cleared the less important people. OK, Bottas has let him through, that would always happen, you can't hate on that. Now it's business time. He has got to clear Perez. I'd say in the next 10-15 laps to be in with a chance of challenging Max Verstappen here. If not,
Louis says Esteban Ocon deserved the Mercedes seat more than George Russell.
Ooh, big claims.
I think it's because Russell's driving in like a Mercedes engine car, isn't he?
Yeah, but it doesn't really work like that.
Him.
Yeah, and it doesn't really work like, you have to work your way up, the ladder, as it were.
It helps though, isn't it? If you drive it,
of course it does. So actually,
Mercedes setup.
He is, and he's actually signed by Toto Wolff. So Toto Wolff actually manages George Russell his career. So it was always going to happen. I think it was a case of get him used to Formula One for a few seasons in any car, and then he was always going to get the big nod. They
were saying this Brazilian guy, Sean Griffith saying, Rubens Barrichello.
Oh, Barrichello, yeah. I mean, Brazil have produced some amazing drivers.
They have. I wonder why he's a Brazil.
Ayrton Senna, Emerson Fittipaldi. They've always had a great. And it's the first time actually when Massa retired in 2017. I think it was the first time in decades that we didn't have a Brazilian represented.
Balungis.season says if Max wins the championship is over.
People are desperate to have that. We've been hearing that the last few races. If this happens, then the championship's over. I mean, mathematically and statistically, no, it's not. With 3 races to go, the lead, even at 25 points, means 1 DNF and 1 win, and Lewis ends up taking the lead again at the championship. So I don't think it's over, but it starts to look bleaker and bleaker for Lewis. This is a big moment for the title for sure.
XVJ says this big guy knows his stuff.
Oh,
big up.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Thank you. They're on about me.
Oh, yeah, fair. Yeah.
No,
the big dog.
They are on about you.
The Don.
They're definitely on about you.
Now, here we go, Robbie. We're green and we are racing again. And look, Max has taken that instantly. No sleeping at the wheel for Max. Straight away, he's already pulled a nice lead on his teammate. And actually, it looks like Perez has pulled away from Lewis temporarily there. You like that word temporarily, everybody out there? Come on, Lewis.
Well, it's a long way to go, isn't it? When you think about it, they've only done 14 laps so far.
Totally.
Lewis Hamilton's got a long time to try and do something, try and reel him in somehow. The one thing about this Red Bull car this year, it's been so reliable.
It really has. And you know something? And this is not true of Red Bull any year up until now. You could maybe say it was in the 2010s, but for years and years, Red Bull now are getting strategy bang on when it comes to pit stops. And I hate to say it, but today could well be decided by the pit stops today, Robbie. And actually with 2 Red Bulls ahead of Lewis, it means that if they want to bring Max in and do the safe thing, they can leave Perez out there all day long. They're not worried about Perez today, really. It's a bonus that he's up there. Yes, they would like to win the Constructors' Championship, but believe me, I think the team are more concerned about Max beating Lewis than they are about getting that crown.
Bizwell saying Australia won the T20 World Cup. Wow.
Oh, there you go.
It was them versus New Zealand, of course. Congratulations to them, if that's true. Valentino Rossi is the GOAT, says Nero's Forte. He definitely is. He definitely is. And Hamilton Verstappen fans remind me of my fan base of my club, Barca and Madrid fans, says Mar Paradis.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice to see everybody getting along last night temporarily. You know, there was respect being paid to Lewis for his drive in the sprint race. And I think that's because Max is still in a favourable position today.
Yeah.
You know, time penalty here, Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Whoa! That is a bigger penalty than you would usually see, a 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
They must really, we need to see it again, but they must really feel like it was wrong. Yeah, I think whichever camp you sit on, you know, whether you're a Lewis, Camp Max, both of these drivers have given us amazing, entertaining racing this season.
I want you, Matt, to tell us about tyres now, right? Because, you know, obviously Lewis Hamilton now, he's chasing down Perez.
Yeah.
How much strain will that have on his tyres in comparison to Verstappen, who's up front, clean air?
Totally. So
pulling away. How does that have an effect on Lewis Hamilton's tyres?
So tyre degradation plays a huge effect on any driver's race. Simply with shit tyres, you're not going to be able to do what you need to do. In fact, you're going to end up getting overtaken, if anything. And you're exactly right. When you're trying to overtake, you'll see all of the extra moves. Not only are they going absolutely on the car's limit, which is going to wear the tyres more than if you just back off a little bit, but on top of that, when they're diving in and out and trying to find a way through, as well as warming the tyres, they're also degrading the tyres slightly. So you're absolutely right. Being in a battle is going to degrade your tyres more. Max has got the advantage here of he doesn't have to go at absolute maximum speed. So he's got a decision now. Do I go maximum speed, spend a little bit of tyre in order to get a bit further ahead of Lewis? Or do I go, no, Lewis is ruining his tyres right now. I'm going to save my tyres in order to give me a fighting chance later on. And there's no right or wrong answer. It really comes down to whatever the team decide to do.
Hamilton's really starting
now
to
look
close
at this. He's got
in now.
DRS.
He's got DRS now.
Come on, Lewis.
Here comes Lewis.
He's too far
trying to
back
make
here.
a move on Perez, but he's a bit too far back.
But I tell you what, one more lap, he's reeling him in. And that Mercedes doesn't like to run in dirty air. He's been right up inside Perez's business for a long time now. He's going to want nothing more than to clear him and get back into clean air before he goes again. This battle is alive, man. Perez is only, I think, 1.8 behind Max, or he was. So they're very much bunched up still here, which is great to see.
Let's go, Max, says Bongali season. Let's go, Lewis, says Mir. And Yash says, I thought the Red Bull tyres had issues last year.
Come on. Red Bull tyres had issues last year, no idea.
Brandon saying Bottas not too far behind.
No, exactly, he's doing the job.
And Louis
actually.
Ashton saying, wasn't Esteban Ocon the reserve driver at Mercedes at one point?
He was, yeah, and again, somebody who's definitely there or thereabouts as Lewis comes alongside.
Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis has got it done.
He's passed
He's just going to stay clean. Stay clean.
Oh,
it's good, clean racing.
He's passed him, Lewis Hamilton, up into second place.
Come on, Lewis!
Past Perez. What a drive.
Oh, Perez coming back now.
Perez coming back at him.
On the DRS.
And he's
wow,
back.
wow.
This is a great race.
What a spectacle.
Perez takes him back. Fantastic driving by Perez.
Woo!
This is some race. And the Red Bulls are not giving up. Brilliant driving by Perez. He got overtaken by Lewis Hamilton, but then took him back.
You know something?
Brilliant.
Perez knew what he was doing there. I think he's allowed Lewis to come through, knowing there was another DRS zone coming just after, and he'd be able to fight it again. Great driving.
Great driving. Lewis is back on him again now.
Come on, Lewis.
All this, though, plays into the hands of Verstappen, who's just sat at the front, just cruising along.
And look now,
while they're battling away.
3.7. So Max has gained 2 seconds advantage while these guys are scrapping it out. Perez is doing exactly what Red Bull need him to do right now.
Exactly.
So glad he's having a strong second half of his Red Bull career.
Exactly what Bottas should have been doing.
Here we go now. Lewis Hamilton again on the opening straight. This time, baby, he's all up in it. Perez has moved to the left, so he's going to try and fight the same again.
Do that fighting move again. Here comes Perez back at him, but Lewis seems to be pulling away a bit this time.
I think now Lewis knows.
Looks like he's got past him this time.
Yeah,
and he has. Lewis
work.
Hamilton is gone. He's passed Perez into second place, and Bottas now.
Yeah, Bottas got
closing
DRS.
down on Perez.
Oh!
Bottas coming after Perez as well. Perez under pressure.
They call this a DRS train, Robbie. It's where multiple cars have got the DRS, so almost cancels out the advantage as we come through here. Wow! Lewis fans, can we just take a moment? Woo! 10th to 2nd in 19 laps, my man.
Unbelievable.
That feels like a cheers moment, Robbie, because I know we try and stay neutral, but
I ain't got nothing left.
we need to get you something.
Oh, wow. So as it stands, Max Verstappen in first place. In second place, Lewis Hamilton. Sergio Perez in third place. Bottas in fourth. Leclerc in fifth. Sainz sixth. Gasly seventh. Vettel eighth. Ricciardo ninth. Ocon in 10th. Stroll in 11th. Alonso 12th. Giovinazzi 13th. Norris 15th. Tsunoda 16th. Has he gone that 10-second penalty yet?
No, he'll serve that either in the pit lane when he next stops or they'll add it on.
Okay, Raikkonen 16th. Mazepin 17th. Russell in 18th, not having a great race. Latifi 19th, and Schumacher right back in last. Of course, he lost his wing.
Wow.
Whose car's that they're showing there?
We're looking at Valtteri Bottas hunting down Sergio Perez at the moment. Okay, we need to ask the guys in the comments. Let's have a little votey thing going on here. Lewis Hamilton to catch Max Verstappen in this race, right?
Let's get a poll up, lads.
Either they're polling, or if you want blue caps, is now that's bullshit, and Max is holding on. Love hearts if you think Lewis can come through and do it. And here we go now. That is just us watching that great little battle there between these guys. Amazing bit of racing from Perez and Hamilton. In fact, that possibly eclipses Hamilton and Alonso that we saw a few races ago.
Well, actually, the poll's actually the poll at the moment. So the poll was 47% said Max Verstappen will win it. Lewis Hamilton 42%, 7% for Bottas, 2% for Sainz.
I tell you what, I see more love hearts than I do blue caps. That means there's more Lewis people in this chat thinking he's going to do it. Will Lewis catch Max and get first? There you go. Get voting now.
He can't do it, says Shrey. I still think it will be Verstappen.
Oh my God, Robbie, have you seen who's in the chat? We've got Xavi, the new Barcelona manager. He's here, and he's saying that Max Verstappen is going to hold on today. Max fans, are you nervous? Is there a Max fan out there who does feel nervous?
James Brown says Lewis. Neil says, I really don't know, man. I really don't know. Ooh. So anyway, back into the race now. I'm still showing a bit of replays going on. That
Robbie,
was,
you need a little top-up to calm the nerves here, don't you?
Yep, I think I do, man. This is such a great race.
Woo! Where's our man? What was he called? Matthew, out there saying that F1 is not the one. Ah, well, you know, we're all friends here, aren't we?
Right, Perez in third place, Valtteri Bottas in fourth, but Bottas is giving a lot of stress at the moment to Perez.
Now, let's just keep checking in on the timing. So currently, Lewis Hamilton 3.7 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So how we track who's doing better or what's happening in the race is just to watch those timings either increase or decrease. So already it's come down to 3.5. So Lewis is pushing a little bit at the moment. Let's give it a couple laps and see what goes on.
Casting 2000 says, odds on them both crashing one another out.
Oh, please don't. Get out of this chat right now. We don't want it.
Well, I wouldn't put it past
we don't want that energy here.
Especially Verstappen, mate. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm happy for Verstappen to go. That's fine. But Lewis needs to stay on if this championship's going to go all the way.
Says the Lewis Hamilton change of engine has helped him out big time, no doubt. He's racing to win this one.
Come
and
on.
Of course, normally this is a Red Bull track, isn't it?
You
were saying that last week.
Yeah, I think this year it was being considered as a Red Bull track. Mercedes have done well here in the past. I mean, as has Ferrari. Vettel won here in 2019, I think it was. But yeah, wow. Robbie, you called me a madman before this race for suggesting that Lewis could get anywhere near first.
I know I did.
He's 3.7 off the lead here.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely wild.
I thought he was going mad. But actually, just goes to show, you knows your stuff.
Oh, the whole, actually, to be honest, the whole community was feeling like Lewis is going to have something up his sleeve today. This race, by the way, I'm not here saying that Lewis is going to win this. I'm just saying he could. There is a chance.
Niall's saying, though, he said Lewis is absolutely destroying his tyres, though. You know, and trying to catch him. What do you reckon?
I want to have a look at it and see. Unless we're not hearing something, of course, guys, we're watching without commentary, so you've got a little advantage.
Lewis' tyres wearing out, says Sturge Jam.
Yeah, okay.
Mind you, Lewis always says he goes on the radio, he says all this negative stuff.
Oh,
a
here
lot
we
of
go.
times I just
Pit
think it's
action.
psychology.
Lance Stroll's going to be the guinea pig, guys. So he's going to come in first for the pit, and every other team is going to watch what they do. So let's see. He's going for the hard tyre, which tells me he's probably going to make this a one-stop and go the rest of the race. You watch his pace over the next 2 laps, and mark my words, Mercedes and Red Bull will be watching Lance Stroll's pace and saying, right, do we go now? He's the guinea pig for the whole track. And he's coming out now. It's going to be really interesting. I mean, it's an awful race from him. He's coming out 19th. He's got a lot of work to do in that Aston Martin. It really hasn't been a great second half of the year for Aston Martin this year. Sebastian Vettel really has outdriven the car. Stroll's been absolutely nowhere. But he did start the season well.
There's a big difference in drivers, aren't there?
No doubt. All right, so we're just checking in on the timing 2 laps later. We were at 3.5. We're still at between 3.5 and 3.7. So Lewis and Max are matching each other's time at the moment. Nobody's giving an inch.
Chris says, Lewis for the undercut, guys. Of course, now, what you spoke about earlier about the fact that Perez could affect that undercut, that's gone now, isn't it?
Absolutely gone. Now, he is the one...
Strategy is going to come into play a lot.
It is. Now, he is the man behind Lewis, and he's only about 3 seconds behind Lewis. So, I mean, he still could play a little bit of a part, particularly if Lewis has a bad stop. I still think that Mercedes are going to be happy to let Red Bull take the lead on the strategy here and do the opposite to Max to try and gain. I tell you what, I would not, Robbie, want to be on the pit wall of either Red Bull or Mercedes who makes the call of who comes in first. Do you want to be on Max's team and say, OK, Max, pit now and let Lewis take the lead? Do you want to be on Lewis's team and say, you're doing really well, but come in now and we'll... that is a nerve. Here we go, starting to slide a bit.
Saying he's starting to slide a bit.
So Max has been known to, like Lewis, start playing his own games.
He chats mind games on the radio. Obviously, they know that the other teams are picking this up. Huge credits going out to Lando Norris, says Bungali. Kishan says, do you all think McLaren with Daniel Rick and Lando alongside new regulations have a chance at the Constructors or even the World Championship next season?
Woo! I think we're going to need to see, there's a lot of chat about how the cars are going to be a lot closer racing. And I don't think in their wildest dreams, the FIA could have hoped for as closer racing as we got this year. I don't know if it's going to get so close that McLaren could just come out and win the championship next year. I'd love it. And as much as I'm hoping that Lando eventually becomes a world champion, Danny Rick's days are numbered. I would love nothing more than to see Daniel Ricciardo win a world title next year, but I can't see it happening for me. What do you think, Robbie?
Hamilton saying that his rears are moving around a lot as well. So we could see one of those teams coming in soon. Looks like their tyres are starting to play them up a bit. They've both been driving very hard. Here was where did it go? There was a nice question here, which I wanted to put to you. And maybe one for the poll. I've lost it now.
Liam's saying the scenes if he catches Max. I don't know if we'll be able to cope.
MTMMCG says Ferrari looking stronger today. Anything happens, front 4 are perfectly placed.
Absolutely. This is Marie, actually. Marie is a day one off-circuit fan. Big shout out to you. Yeah, anything happens front 4, they're perfectly placed. Absolutely right. Listen, whatever has happened between Ferrari and McLaren, they've swapped places this second half of the season. Incredible work from the guys in the back office at Ferrari.
Who's coming in now?
To get those boys on. Yeah, so Gasly's coming in, another guinea pig. They're just going to see how that hard tyre is going to do for them.
Great
and in
change.
fact, this is Red Bull's little sister team, so they're going to have all the statistics on that car going through. I'm sure that's going to help them make the decision for Max and Perez.
Sharon V says, yo, Robbie and Matt, do you like Sebastian Vettel? I do.
Yeah. Did you see him yesterday? Did you see his cheeky little comments? He, as he comes in after qualifying, he said on the pit lane, "Oh, I might go and touch Lewis's rear wing," and they came back on the radio and said, "No, please don't do that." And he said, "No, you're right. I might touch his front ring. Maybe it'll only be a 25 grand fine." Such great banter from him. He's the actual, I think the title he needs to get is the gentleman of Formula One. You know, I've seen pictures of him after races, not for the cameras, you know, picking litter in the grandstand at the end of Formula One races. We've seen him, you know, going over and being lovely with the kids. Now, here we go.
Here we go. So
it's Lewis Hamilton
Lewis Hamilton's coming.
Oh,
so they're trying for the undercut.
Please. Okay, it's a great pit. Now,
it was a great pit.
If Red Bull are smart, they're going to cover this straight off with Max Verstappen. Red Bull will try and cover this
straight off. Then Ferrari are coming in as well.
Yeah, now this is Carlos Sainz
it's getting interesting.
Danny Rick
That,
takes...
of course, drops Lewis Hamilton down into 5th place at the moment, but cars are coming in all the time.
Yeah, down into 6th now. Danny Rick's sitting there at the moment. Now, we don't really need to worry about Danny Rick, Leclerc, Bottas, Perez. This is now all about how quickly Max Verstappen's going to cover. Lewis Hamilton, mark my words, Robbie, is going to go like a shit off stick now. This is going to be fast outlap after fast outlap. To make the undercut work, he needs to gain 3.8 seconds on Max Verstappen now. So this is going to be all about Lewis putting in a big performance.
Where did he come out?
So he's come out in 6th place. He's already the fastest man on track, but he's going to be looking to massively improve on that. Now, here comes Max towards the pit lane. Is Max going to pit?
Box, he's coming in.
They're terrified that Mercedes are going to do this.
When they say box,
yeah, come into the box.
Let me give you my knowledge. That means pit stop.
Love that.
Yeah?
You're the man. You're the man. You should have a Formula 1 podcast or something. You should.
That's a great pit stop by Red Bull.
That was
great
faster.
Pit stop. That was fast.
That was faster than Lewis.
That was almost like bang.
Now here comes Lewis down the main straight. I don't think Verstappen's too worried here. He did have a 4-second advantage on Lewis when they pitted.
Yeah, he's through.
2.4 looks amazing. Yeah, the question is, will he clear Danny Rick or will he be stuck behind him? I think he's going to do. So yeah, I think he's actually been a big winner there. We could be looking at maybe 5 seconds is my guess at the moment.
Oh, there's Hamilton coming there though.
Oh, let's go Hamilton now. Hamilton's got, Max's tyres right now need a lap to warm up. So Hamilton's got a quick advantage only for the remainder of this lap in order to try and catch him. Actually, that's worked out for Mercedes. They've gained a couple of seconds advantage, no doubt here. And we're going to watch now Lewis, who will have DRS at the end of this lap, I reckon, on Max. Is he that close? Give us the timing screens. Get rid of the pit stops. Give us the timing screens.
He does look closer.
No, 1.6. So he's not going to have DRS, but he is going to get a toe.
Closer though, isn't he? Closer.
And I tell you what, Max has still got to go, and Max's tyres aren't up to temperature yet, so he can't throw it round like he would like to do. And in comes Perez now.
Perez is coming into box.
Now they're going to leave Bottas out there. If I was Mercedes, leave Bottas out there.
Slow him up.
Yeah, and you could, I mean, he's still got 10, 11 seconds, so it's going to hang him out to dry a little. Perez, oh dear. Is that a slow stop for Perez? Wow. Lewis is the fastest lap again. As we come through and start the next lap. Now Max's tyres should be warmed up, and at performance now, Max is going to be able to spend a little bit of tyre and pull away from Lewis again.
Which he looks like he's doing.
And he really does look like he's doing.
Yeah, he's up to speed
1.5 seconds is the gap. So let's not forget, we were at 4 seconds before the pit stops. So Lewis has gained 2.5 to 3 seconds advantage by coming in half a lap before Max Verstappen.
And there goes Perez there.
The power of the undercut.
Comes out in 5th place at the moment.
And let me tell you this from, oh wow, we're just seeing, is that Lando Norris? We are. Lando Norris on Carlos Sainz there. Both of them battling each other. Sainz amazingly holding on in the Ferrari. Great driving from him again. He's becoming a real good defender.
He's a good driver, he is, Sainz. Vettel is a legend, says Liam.
Yeah, he is.
And Aaron says, can we talk about Mazepan crying?
Oh, good reminder. Listen, Marie, who I just mentioned, she chatted to me a little bit yesterday and she accused me, Robbie, of having a cold heart. She said that she felt sorry for Mazepan, despite, you know, whatever. And did you see the interview? No. He basically just messed up, and it meant that he came last instead of second to lap. Lewis has just improved and gone faster again. So he comes out and he's crying in the media. Now, for me, the reason I don't have sympathy is I don't believe that he belongs in Formula 1. I think his dad's bought him the seat, and it's clear he doesn't have the ability. He's not outdriven Mick Schumacher, his teammate, so it's not just about having a bad car. So for me, to then feel a little embarrassed, oh, we're just seeing a move here, is that Pierre Gasly? It is Pierre Gasly.
My guy Gasly, man, I rate him, man.
Just coming through Lando Norris there, too easy. Too easy. Yeah, so I guess for me, I don't feel sorry for him ultimately because he is going to be embarrassed, and that's his dad's fault for throwing him in at the deep end and sticking him on a platform that he doesn't belong on. I think he needs to take the L, come out of Formula 1 and just admit I wasn't good enough. In the same way, Dobby...
He's not going to do that,
No, but Robbie, I wouldn't be good enough. You know, there's no good throwing me in a car.
Yeah, well, you do. You'd be in there if your dad put you in there.
Yeah, I would, yeah. But I wouldn't be crying to the media and saying, no, it's just not fair. I'd go, I'm going to fucking milk it for all it's worth because I don't belong. But yeah, like cold heart anyway.
I'd be saying to my dad, Dad, can you get me a faster car?
Yeah, Dad, no, I am grateful for the Dad. Really, I am. You get me a...
the stewards there still clearing away debris there, should I say.
What a dangerous job that is, eh?
Now
here comes Bottas. So this is big from Mercedes. They want to keep Bottas in the game
Look at
here.
the state of those tyres, man.
Yeah, he's done well to stay out.
The state of those tyres.
Bam. And everybody's gone for the hard tyre. Nobody's
Don't even
decided
get pulled
to
over by
change
the
it
police
up.
in those, I'll tell you that.
Oh, actually, Bottas has gained there. I didn't realise we were under a virtual safety car briefly. So while the entire track reduced by 40%, it's probably saved Bottas 5 seconds on his pit stop.
Dale says, do you think women will be in the F1 in the future? There are a couple of women.
Yeah, so we've got the WF1, the
not?
women's Formula 1, Formula 3, whatever they call it. In fact, we're friends of the show with, she's called Jess Hawkins, amazing driver. She drives for Aston Martin, women's Formula 1 team. She was cool. She came on the show, Robbie. I'm sure she'd love to come here. She was also the stunt driver in the latest James Bond film. Amazing lass. Yeah, and I asked her that question. She believed no. She doesn't think that women are going to come. And I said to her, well, what's different about Formula 1 is we're not talking a physical sport like a football where physically men and women shouldn't really play the game together because there's an unfair advantage. I don't understand why in race driving the ladies couldn't come through.
I wouldn't think there'd be any advantage.
No, totally. No, so, yeah, for me personally, I'm all for it. I'd be happy to see it. But,
I think it'd be great for the sport.
Yeah, totally.
It'd be great for the sport. I don't see how... It's like, I mean, I know it's a different sport, like in horse racing.
Max Verstappen.
He's catching him. He's catching
He's
Verstappen.
quicker on entry and exit for... this is for his pit lane. But Lewis had a ultimate slightly quicker inside the pit lane.
Lewis is right on him, though.
Yeah, come on now. He's in DRS now, is Lewis Hamilton. So he's going to be opening that rear wing, that cheating rear wing, 0.2 millimetres over.
By the way, was he able to keep that, or did they have to adjust that back?
No, I'm not sure.
Surely they had to adjust that back.
But it can't be an adjustment. I think it's how it's physically machined, right? I don't know. We're going to have to look that up.
Surely they'd have to adjust that back.
I hope they have, because if not, we won't hear the end of it from these bloody Max fans, will we? Nah, I'm here just prodding. I'm only kidding, guys. I'm fishing.
Coon must be
he'll be cursing
a bit nervous at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You might have to send him a quick message.
Yeah, we need to do it.
Send him a quick voice note.
Oh, no. Shall we get him on FaceTime? Let's just check in with our... Guys, do you want to see it in the comments? Shall we get Coon on FaceTime right now?
We got to get Coon, the big Max Verstappen fan who we had on the F1 show, who was obviously loving what Max Verstappen's been doing.
Let's
All right,
see.
you're going to try and get Coon up?
Hopefully he's watching, so he knows this is happening and he's ready. Oh,
there he is, Coon!
Fantastic. How are you feeling?
Yeah, man, nervous as fuck.
You should be. I don't know if you can hear
nervous. He said he's nervous.
As a Max fan, obviously, do you feel like Lewis has got a chance of winning this?
I'm afraid he has, but now thank God Max is keeping him off a little bit, but it's crazy, mate. The first 20 laps, I didn't even have the fucking patience to watch and the stream and you guys and this.
I love it. Really good work from Mercedes in the pit lane just to come in slightly before Max. They gained nearly 3 seconds on Max.
Yeah, and then the virtual safety car with Bottas as well. So it is crazy.
I love it. Dude, we're going to let you go, but we can't wait to see you soon.
We come back to you at the end, Coon, yeah?
Yeah.
Planning flights for the 5th of December.
I haven't told Robbie yet, but we're going to try and get him over.
We got it, we got it.
Love it.
All right,
love you, bro.
Coon, man. Big up Coon.
Come on.
Right,
yes.
That's Coon there, of course. Massive Max Verstappen fan over there in the Netherlands. He's watching nervously, he says. Verstappen still leads the race though. Verstappen in the lead. Lewis Hamilton, excuse me, in second. Bottas now in third. Perez in fourth. Leclerc in fifth. Alonso sixth. Sainz seventh. Gasly in eighth. Daniel Ricciardo ninth. Lando Norris in 10th. And Yuki Tsunoda in 10th place at the moment. Sorry, 11th place. And this race has been absolutely brilliant so far. You can't say who's going to win it. Lewis Hamilton is hanging in there.
Honestly.
He's fighting for his life. He's fighting for the championship.
Now you can
Anybody who says Formula One is boring, I'm sorry, do one this season. You may have had a case in other seasons, but this season is brilliant. Down to 2 people in particular, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton.
Big time.
2 amazing drivers we are watching in action in 2 amazing cars with 2 amazing teams, and we are really enjoying this. 34 laps gone now.
And it has to be said, you know, about this season, the midfield has been just as exciting. It really, season after season, has improved now. We're looking at the Ferraris. We're looking at Aston Martin did play a part for a minute. The McLarens have been up there. AlphaTauri with Gasly has been all over the place and doing bits. The Alpines have won a race this year. It really and truly, if this is a sign of things to come, Robbie, and if it's going to only get closer next year, I mean, honestly, we're in for, I think we're in for a lot more people enjoying this sport. Now, Max Verstappen, while we were talking to Kuhn there, Lewis did have some DRS. You can see Max has pulled away, but Lewis isn't letting him go. Max did get to 1.4. It's now at 1.2. So Lewis is happy spending his tyres a little bit to not let Max get away from him here. This is a battle that's going to go all the way to the end.
Good NL says Super Max. Darius says Lando to get a podium finish. And, excuse me, Reggie says Post Malone got rid of all his tattoos.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I just like to keep it clean for YouTube, ideally. I'm actually from Yorkshire as well, you wouldn't believe. Most people think I'm from America somewhere.
Oh, Yorkshire?
Yorkshire.
Whereabouts?
York.
Oh, York.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice part of the world.
Lovely to retire in, but yeah, not a lot happening in York. The good ones come south. 1.4 again is the gap to Max Verstappen. And actually Bottas is just doing enough to have a boring race now. He's got fastest lap. He's sat in third place behind his teammate. This is exactly what Toto Wolff would have been hoping for Mercedes. He's keeping Perez at bay. He's four and a half, I think, seconds behind. Oh dear, and we're just seeing Fernando Alonso.
Poor stop for Alonso. He'd be cussing.
Yeah,
He'd be on that radio slagging off the whole team, won't he?
Big time.
Right.
Now, George Russell's been a gainer in the pit stops, up to 13th. He must have stopped, unless he hasn't stopped yet.
Maybe he hasn't stopped yet. Because he was right at the back, wasn't he?
Yeah, down in 18th. Sure, I think Marzipan has held on to last position all race long.
John says, Robbie, are you a Lewis fan? Of course I'm a Lewis fan, you know what I mean? Lewis is English, and we want him to win the title. But I do love Max Verstappen as well. I just think we've got some great races.
Totally.
That we've been having. There's a lot of drivers out on that track that I really like, but
yeah, it's a funny sport.
I love what
It's
Lewis
not like
Hamilton
football,
represents.
is it? You know, football, you end up where you maybe really like one team, you hate most of the others, and there's a couple that you're okay with. Formula One, really and truly, for me anyway, there's 18 drivers out there that I'm more than happy to see do well. I'll let you guess who the two isn't. Funny old
sport. He's got his Mazepan hate on.
And I tell you something, one time right now, I think all of us agree, we want this to go to the last race. So whether you're a Max or a Lewis fan, if you're a Max fan, you should want Lewis to be doing well today. We want to push him all the way. Surely, nobody wants to see this title wrapped up and ended early. Be amazing to go to the last
Just think,
again.
right, if he hadn't been disqualified in the sprint, because you get extra points for that, don't you?
Yeah, so he could have finished first there, which would have been 3 points, and I think he would have finished first, looking at his pace.
Yeah.
So he'd have got an extra 3 there, and then he'd have started in 6th, where he's well within his rights to go for the race win from there. So, it definitely has hurt him, that disqualification. I did hear a couple of fans moaning that they didn't feel like it really penalised Lewis enough, and I'm thinking, for 0.2 mil, it really has cost him at least 3 points this weekend.
LMS says Russell stopped on the first safety car, apparently.
Oh, smart. Okay.
Smart little move by them.
Yeah, big win. Now, Yuki Tsunoda is running in 11th, but don't forget, he has not served his 10-second penalty yet. So,
and Liam says, what strategies are Max and Lewis going for, do you think?
Personally, I think they're on a one-stop unless we see a safety car or something else. I think now that neither one is going to want to come in and put a medium tyre on and be quick towards the end. I think they're going to want to hold on, but it all depends how the tyres degrade. So, again, we can't hear what they're saying on the team radios, but at the moment, I'd imagine that they'll try and make the hard tyre last.
Well, Hamilton is still right on Verstappen.
Yeah.
That means Verstappen, both of them tyres will be under pressure because, obviously he doesn't want to let up.
No, exactly. And you can see there, actually, as much as Hamilton gained a little time in the last lap there, out of the 4 sectors that they were measuring, Max Verstappen was quicker in 3 of them. So Max is spending tyres just as much as Lewis is right now.
Big guy Jur says, Robbie, Lewis cheated. Come on. It's like having 12 players playing a football game.
What's your thoughts on this, Robbie? You've got all the facts.
Well, with all the facts, listen, something's gone on there.
Yeah.
And he's paid the price.
Big
so,
time. And we're not talking...
You are saying it was, with what you described, it was absolute minimal.
We're talking 0.2 millimetres.
But he's paid the price.
Yeah,
He's paid
I
the
think so.
price. So, you know, I don't think there's nothing more that can be done. He's paid the price for probably it's not him, it's the team.
Yeah, totally.
John Cena says, Robbie, F1 or football? Well, it's got to be football. But I do love an F1. This is classic Formula One rivalry, says Matt.
It really is.
Definitely is. You need that rivalry in Formula One,
You
don't
do,
you?
and we've been missing it, to be honest.
Senna, Prost and all that.
For me, and I'm going to have to start changing my answer, but for me, my favourite Formula One season or seasons, 2016, and it was Lewis versus Nico, and that's what made it so exciting.
And Rosberg.
And before that, possibly 2007, Lewis's debut season, him and his teammate Alonso hated each other. Kimi Raikkonen came through and won it at the end. You know, they were great years, but they were made for the rivalries, and you're absolutely right there.
You need a rivalry in Formula One. You need
We
that.
do, and speaking of which, here comes Sebastian Vettel now with his DRS. Just
And
showing,
he's
and
just
wow,
motoring
DRS
through.
train.
Motoring through there.
Is that Ocon coming through and following? I think it is. Or is it Alonso? It's Alonso. Bam. The two
Nico
old boys.
was so good, says Ruvana. It's always a mystery to me how he just retired.
Yeah, do you know why? Did you hear why?
Won the title and just said, right, I'm gone.
Do you know why? He's since come out and talked about this
Because he knew he'd never beat Hamilton again?
Rosberg and Hamilton were racing together from being like kids, like 13 years old teenagers. And so this rivalry was really intense. Rosberg got into Formula One before Lewis Hamilton did. He was there for a couple of years and thinking, I'm the big dog. Then when Lewis came through, he didn't just come through. He almost won the title in his first year, won it in his second year. And then when Rosberg finally gets his chance driving for Mercedes, they bring in Lewis Hamilton as a teammate. So the rivalry was really fierce, and Lewis just kept beating Nico, and no matter what Nico tried, he couldn't beat him. So for that final year, 2016, Nico Rosberg came out and said he changed his diet dramatically, stopped seeing his friends, stopped seeing his wife, had no social life whatsoever, was absolutely determined and focused for the entire year to a point where he was miserable, just to try and beat Lewis Hamilton. And in the meantime, Lewis was on and off his private jet, going to fashion shows, going to this, and jumping in his car and just doing it with the raw pace. And he literally came out and said, I can't do another year of that. That was too costly.
Wow.
Great insight.
I'm a blue dabbity says Merck were clever when they boxed Bottas under the virtual safety car. Maybe decisive points Mercedes need for the championship. I love the strategies. It's one of the things that I love about Formula One.
Oh my God,
Who's that in? Who's that in?
No,
That's a Red Bull in the pit. That
that's
must
Max
be.
Verstappen.
Is it?
Holy fuck. And a hard tyre again. What has happened here? We're getting all caught up.
Is that
with
Verstappen or was that
blue
Bottas?
dabba-dee-da. It was
and it's just
Verstappen.
coming out of the pits behind.
Okay.
It
Guys,
is Verstappen.
we're going to need to see a replay of that. What's happened in the chat? You tell us now.
So Verstappen in the pits and he's back out again.
So Max has come in and put a hard tyre on again. All I can think is that his tyre wasn't working for him. I don't know if he picked up a puncture. But this now, advantage Lewis Hamilton right
Hamilton now in the lead.
Oh my days, Robbie. I can't actually believe Max has come in. We're at a slight disadvantage for not hearing what's going on in the commentary right now, but I can only think that Verstappen has picked up something to do with his tyre.
They're showing his tyres there. They're stacking the tyres up. They're showing it on.
20 seconds he's got to make up to Lewis, and Lewis could go all the way here.
Nick Nash saying Mercedes preparing to box Hamilton soon.
Okay.
So.
For another hard tyre.
Oh, this is weird. That was a strange shot. It doesn't look like. Yes, they are bringing in Lewis.
Okay, so they're going to
So
cover
here
it
comes
off.
Hamilton. They're going to cover that off. Here comes Hamilton right now.
So it's tactical. So just
It is
as
tactical.
just as Red Bull.
And out he goes. Wasn't.
Bam.
No, that was Bottas. That's Bottas who's coming.
Hamilton just leaving out for the moment. So just as Red Bull managed to gain the advantage by, Mercedes gained the advantage by coming in half a lap before Lewis, Red Bull have had a look at it and gone, okay, there's a window here. Let's bring in Max and make sure that we're not losing another couple of
So it
seconds
was a
to
last
Lewis.
minute box.
Very, very interesting. Bottas has covered it.
Wow.
I'm honestly gobsmacked.
That's thrown us, hasn't it?
Well, I'll tell you
That
for the
has
reason.
really thrown us.
We've only done 15 laps on the hard compound tyre. Now, when we talk tyres, soft, medium and hard, the soft tyre is the fastest tyre, but is only designed to do 15 or 20 laps. The hard tyre is the tyre, Robbie, that is designed to do 30 or 40 laps. I can't understand why after 15 laps, they're taking off the hard and going hard again. If that was the way, I don't know why they didn't go medium before and get the extra speed advantage.
John's saying that Max had a tyre puncture on the left. I'm
There you go.
Try and see if I can find out for sure.
And if that is the case, Max Verstappen having a puncture, the advantage is absolutely swung to Lewis Hamilton right now. He does not need to stop.
Why would they bring in Bottas then?
Just to cover it off. Now here comes Perez. So now we've got the top 3 have all decided to make it a 2-stop and go hard again.
This must be strategy.
This is all down now to Lewis Hamilton and what they decide to do here.
I'm a blue Dabadi says Max Verstappen said on the team radio earlier that he couldn't let Mercedes
undercut again.
They couldn't let Mercedes undercut them again.
Now, look at this. Max Verstappen now half a second faster. Now, it's not nice being the one chased. So before it was exciting, cheering for Lewis, watching him chase Max while Kuhn was suffering. If we call Kuhn right now, I think he'd feel a little easier knowing that he's the one doing the chasing right now. Here we go, 18 seconds.
Will they bring in Hamilton then?
If they do right now, Hamilton will have lost any advantages that he had. He was only 1.5 seconds behind Max. He'll be at least 4 seconds, and here he comes.
They're bringing him in. They're bringing in. So it is all strategy. How do you want me to approach this as Verstappen?
Look after the tyre, Max. They've
right.
said.
So here comes Hamilton. It is all strategy. It is all strategy while they've come in.
This is one of the craziest bits of strategy I think I have seen.
And out he goes again. Will he come out in front?
No chance.
Of Verstappen? No, he won't.
No chance.
You can see Verstappen coming down there.
So Verstappen just coming to the end of the pit straight. Verstappen takes the lead, and Lewis Hamilton, still in the pit lane, is going to come out. And I think Robbie is going to be 4 seconds behind at least here.
So it's a good bit of strategy from... There you go. There's the Red Bull there. Yes, he's behind.
And there you go.
So it's a good bit of strategy by
okay, 2.5,
2.5,
2.6 seconds. So Lewis has lost a second, or let me phrase it like this for the Max fans. Max has just gained a second with great strategy from Red Bull, seeing that before Mercedes and deciding to pull the trigger. I still don't really understand why we've only run a hard tyre for 15 laps, Robbie. I think that's what Lewis will be saying on the radio right now, is I'm not really sure why.
But you said he was gaining. You said he was gaining.
Oh, no, he was. So they had to cover it off at that point. But he's going to be wondering, why have we done this?
Dale says, talking about rivalries, Webber and Vettel.
Yeah, great. Was a great rivalry in a time when Red Bull really stamped their authority down on the sport. They won 4 titles back to back. Now, this is just, honestly, Robbie, it's got me flabbergasted. Can you tell? I don't understand really the thinking behind
Bottas
the tyre
said,
choice.
I think we just threw away an easy 1-2.
Yeah.
So he's very upset about it.
So Bottas feels like he could have gone all the way on the hard. That's what he's saying there, is we could have gone all the way. Obviously, what Mercedes saw in Max's pace is Max actually was gaining at a rate of
Sergio
knots.
Perez is making a gain there on Leclerc.
Yeah.
Pass him easily.
Now, the fastest man on track
Alex says
is
they
Perez.
should have left Hamilton out. It's all over now.
I don't know. Now, guys, what we have to take into account here
Hamilton not happy, says Darren.
So Lewis was 1.5 seconds behind Max before. He's now only 1.7 with the same tyre as Max. So they've decided, okay, instead of saying we'll take the lead and watch Max take a second a lap out for 30 laps where Max would definitely take the lead of the Grand Prix, if they come in early enough, they've cancelled out any advantage that Max actually had. So Lewis now has not lost anything here. He's exactly where he was 3 laps ago before the stops. But I just don't understand why we've gone higher to high. He was sort of in the lead, but let's not forget that with Max having the fresher tyre, he was cutting a second a lap out of him. With 30 laps to go, a second a lap, that's 30 seconds. Lewis was only 18 seconds ahead. So I think we would have seen Max Verstappen breeze through.
I'm a blue Dabadi, says Lewis has asked what tyre he wanted earlier in the race also. Lewis wanted a different tyre, he said on the team radio.
There is absolutely no way anybody would have said, we'll start the medium and then we'll go hard early and then we'll go hard after another 15 laps. That's the part of it, Robbie, that flabbergasted me.
HP Tube says Max Verstappen is living rent-free in Toto's head.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Verstappen has changed the order of this whole race. He really has.
Like, they are living, you know.
Wow.
Christian Horner.
Lewis Hamilton 1.1. He's taken half a second out of Max the last lap. Lewis has got pace, guys. Don't give up. Somebody already threw in the towel and said it's over for Lewis. He's going to be within DRS in another lap's time, I reckon.
This is some race.
Oh.
This is some race. I could watch these two drive all day.
Yeah, insane. especially when it's as close as this and it's as meaningful as this. I'd love to know what Christian Horner's saying on the pit wall right now. Is he having a little whinge and a moan?
He's always moaning.
Yeah, they call him
He is a great.
They call him Whinge Spice. Have you heard that?
Serge Cam 3R says, smash the like button, people. Keep smashing that like button.
Come on.
By the way, to everybody who's been watching along, 2 Out F1 watch along, absolutely brilliant response.
Yeah.
Don't forget as well, for more brilliant information on brilliant stuff on F1, you've got to check out the Off Circuit channel.
Come on.
The link is in the description. Make sure you subscribe to Matt's channel. It's absolutely brilliant. You hear the insights he gives here when he comes on. He's amazing. So don't forget to subscribe to his channel.
Thank you, man. Yeah, honestly, we're a tiny little channel, but grateful to be here and doing this.
We're going to make it big.
We're going for
our
it.
channel to be big because it deserves to be big because it's such... When you and Kuhn are on.
Oh yeah,
my God,
come on.
brilliant.
That's the way right there.
Brilliant. Goon NL for about the 10th time says Super Max and he's got his Netherlands flags on it. He's a big Max fan. Big up yourself, bro.
Yeah, come on.
Anyway, lap 47 we are on now. We've just gone into 47 and it's still Verstappen in the lead.
Now, DRS.
Hamilton.
Look at that time, 0.9. Hamilton's just reined him in enough to get DRS. Now, I think he's too far back in order to make an overtake on DRS this time, but he'll use the DRS to get close, and then he'll go again on the next one. Although, wow, what an exit he got out of the last corner. And watch Max just diving to the left there, just to make sure Lewis doesn't come up his inside. 0.4 now. Lewis fans, we've got a DRS coming. Perez used it on Lewis at the opening of this race. Let's go, Lewis!
Here we come.
Off the inside! He's got outside him. He's got to come inside again, though. Brilliant from Max
they touched
Verstappen.
each other.
Wow.
They've gone right off the track.
Oh my days, they've come off. Robbie, I have to say, brilliant from Max to keep the inside. I thought Lewis would try and take the inside. Max just holding on to make sure that Lewis couldn't get the move done there.
What a race this is.
Wow, these two can drive. That is incredible, Robbie. And Lewis is still
Verstappen
there.
held him off.
Look at this again on the replay. So watch there. That was the crucial moment. Max said, you're not having the inside, Lewis. You fucking go around me. So you watch Lewis trying to go
They
around.
nearly touched there. They both came off the track.
Interesting that Max felt that he had to come off as well.
Wow.
Good clean racing though. A lot of people accusing either
Max
driver
there, he went wide
of,
there.
the cheat or over aggressive, but really good clean racing from both of them.
He's going to get up on him again though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 1.1, so he's going to need another lap to reel him in, and then he'll have another go. And wow, can I say, I love how they've formatted the DRS in Brazil, that we get it on the main straight as normal, and then literally after 2 or 3 corners, we get another straight for more DRS. It's
They're really
making a
arguing in the
difference.
chat. Stizzy says Verstappen is dirty. Harley says Verstappen is a cheat. Lewis is a cheater, says Peter. Dirty Max says Rico. They're really arguing in the chat about.
Listen,
we've got 2 great drivers.
settle
out doing
down,
their
guys.
thing.
This is what we all want to see. As much as
brilliant.
you're nervous, this is what we want. We want Lewis and Max to battle it out, and whoever comes out on top, so long as it's clean. And I don't see anything untoward there. You could argue, I wondered if Max had moved twice in the braking zone, but looking back, he didn't. He almost feigned right, but moved left. That's just great driving from him. I'm sure Lewis will moan. Don't mistake Lewis's moaning for Max doing something wrong. That is just the mind games that we've already talked about.
Did he force him off a bit there, though? Did he force him off a bit?
I don't think so. I think that they both lost a bit of traction there. I think they were carrying the speed. So Max was going for the late braking as Lewis was. So when Lewis outbraked himself and had to go wide, I think Max was in the same place.
Harley says he blocked him off.
Honestly, and you guys know I'm a big Lewis fan.
Investigation says I'm a blue dabba die.
Nah, definitely not.
Verstappen on his radio now.
Yeah.
Obviously not happy.
You guys know I'm quick to criticise Max if I need to do, but I honestly don't think that Max has done anything wrong there. I'd love to know. There's a lot of Lewis fans in the chat. Max
Anyway,
fans,
here comes
do you
Lewis
agree?
again.
Now
Lewis
we've
is
got-
up on him again.
So here we go. Turn 1.
Incident
turn
review,
3.
Max and Lewis, says Dale.
And now we go DRS again on the next straight coming through. And what have we missed here? Lance Stroll is out of this
Stroll
race.
is out of the race.
Fuck him off. We don't even want to look at this. Get back to Lewis and Max. He's out. We're not bothered. Let's go. All right. Good. Here we go. Lewis. Nah, I think he's too far back now. I think we've missed a big moment there. Terrible
Too far back.
TV cutting from the...
It's Lance Stroll.
Yeah, exactly. Lance Stroll,
So
and he's out.
His dad had a word
Show
with
us him being out when nothing's happening, not when these two are battling.
His dad got a control on what's going on, mate.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, furious. He's going, right, put him on TV at least. He's out. Right, so Lewis still within DRS crucially. Lap 50, 21 laps to go.
Wow.
This race is a long way from being done.
Here they go. Lewis can have another bite at him again.
All right, here we go. So through turn 1, Robbie, through turn 2, turn 3, round the sweeping 4, and then we're going to open DRS and hopefully see Lewis Hamilton now gain that little bit more. Watch him gaining.
I think he's a bit far
I
back.
think he is going to be too far back for it this time. But now he's got to stay close, 0.3 behind. If he stays up in his gearbox, we've got another opportunity to see Lewis come at him at the main straight.
What a race. What a race.
What a race. You know how to pick him, Robbie. Great work from Lewis. It's not easy keeping that close in the dirty air. Really not going to be kind to his Mercedes at the moment. But 0.8, he's still within DRS. Crucially, when he crosses the detection zone, which will be coming up shortly.
Ooh,
oh dear, and Daniel Ricciardo's out of this race.
Daniel Ricciardo is out of the race.
I wonder if there's something about the humidity or something in the air that's causing engine problems.
One McLaren down.
King Dre saying, Max, you're a cheat. I hope Red Bull gets relegated. No!
Oh dear. Right, here comes Lewis again. Can he have another bite?
Come on, Lewis.
This certainly would make the championship interesting.
It really, really would. Right, DRS is open, Robbie, down the main straight. This is the first DRS zone. He's going to use that to get close. He's not close enough, though, I don't think.
Didn't look like he opened it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was open all the way down, but I don't think he's close enough to make the move as we come into this next bit. And the FIA and Red Bull are just having a little radio comms message here. I'd love to know. Tell us in the chat what they're saying.
Well, there was, people saying that, possibility of a penalty.
Nah, they're not even under investigation, and I can't see him being, to be honest. That is as big a racing incident as you're going to see with no contact. If Max had touched my boy, though, I'd have been fuming. Okay, Max lives to fight another day. Again, just pulling away into the 1 second mark. Currently no DRS, but the detection zone will be coming up shortly.
Dirty Verstappen, says Jason. Gina NL says Max would rather crash than let Lewis pass him. I don't disbelieve that. Red Bull crying to the FIA, says Stimpson 122. The FIA sponsored by Red Bull, says Vanny 121.
Interesting here from Curtis. From Ivan, saying Max will take the inside every time. Oh, it has been no investigation necessary.
No investigation.
Exactly right, guys. No cheating going on.
No investigation. You agreed with that,
I did.
You?
I really did, Robbie. And it's not like me to take that stance when it comes to Max v. Lewis. But now we go again, and
he had every right to hold his line then.
He did, yeah, and I think they both outbraked each other. So the reason Lewis went off is because he left it too late to brake and then had to go wide. And I think Max left it late to try and cover himself.
Leclerc, they're coming into the pits and back out.
Once again, we've cut away. I mean, I get shown as a pit stop, but there's more pressing things going on at the moment. Let's keep us with Lewis Max.
Prof F2D says, why did Bottas say we lost the easy 1-2?
Yeah, I think he felt like they could maybe go all the way on the race. I'm not convinced on that, once we saw Max's pace.
It's not looking at it now when you see the pace of these two.
And here we go now. Now, back markers are going to slow down Max Verstappen. This is Lewis's chance. DRS for Lewis, not for Max. And Max is going to, unfortunately, be a little fucked up by the Hasses that he's coming up against here. I think it's Marzipan at the back. No, it's Schumacher that they're coming up against. Come on, Lewis, now. DRS is open. We go again. Come on, Lewis. I think he's too far back, Robbie.
Too far.
Too far. Wow, how many laps can Lewis afford to run this close to Max? Credit to it. He's giving it everything. He's leaving it all out on the track.
He didn't have much tyres left at it. Mind you, he did change the tyres.
Okay, they cleared the back markers.
Cleared past him.
Both of them cleared at the same time, so that's an advantage, if anything, for Lewis. I don't know if Max was slowed down. But Lewis will be happy that he could take him at the same time. And here we go now. Max, he is driving this so well at the moment. It is not easy being the guy being chased lap after lap after lap, and we know the Mercedes has got pace. He is doing a phenomenal job out in the lead there. And the longer this battle goes on, Robbie, the more Lewis is going to have to back off and choose to go later. He can't do this. We're not going to see there's 16 laps to go. We're not going to see 16 laps of Lewis being within DRS zone.
Why?
The car physically can't perform like that. It cannot follow in the dirty air like that. He's also going to be spending tyres, and they're both going to be worried about that. So he's probably only going to be allowed another maybe 3 laps or so at doing this before Mercedes starts saying, okay, let's back off and go again another time. And Max also, he's going to be spending tyre as well. And I'd love to know now, Mercedes are now chatting to the FIA over the radio. So both Horner and Toto have had their word. Yeah.
Toto probably spamming the FIA email account now, says
What a moment that was this season. Did you hear that? That was Toto Wolff on the radio like now, who said, hi, check your email. I've just emailed you some evidence now. During the race. Almost unprecedented.
I think they're complaining about that decision. Obviously, every margin would be great.
No doubt.
Red Bull, he's starting to pull away now by the looks of it.
Yeah, Lewis didn't have DRS coming down this straight here. Absolutely crazy. Just to check in on the midfield, because we've had a good 15 laps or so there. It looks like the Ferraris are holding down 5 and 6. I'm amazed, Leclerc managed to take Sainz at the start of the race and hold out for that one. And then the Alpines are having a great drive, 7th and 8th for them. McLaren are the big losers today. Any claim that they've got, oh, look at that. That was the move there again.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Seeing it from that angle, Max does look to turn into Lewis a little. I can understand people feeling slightly aggrieved.
Had he not to backed out of that, there'd been another crash, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Lewis has got the move done past, but then he's not got the inside line. But then Max, did he need to go as wide as that? Lewis did.
I'm loving in the chat, the Max and Lewis fans all arguing each other, all saying each one was at fault.
And I love the big insult that a Max or a Lewis fan can give to each other seems to be crying. Hamilton fans crying, Max fans crying. It's always about crying.
Still more back markers there. They're going past them quite easily. They're moving out of the way. That's Lando Norris right at the back there.
And it's allowed Lewis to get back into the DRS zone. 0.9 seconds now. So he's got just enough there to be able to open that rear wing and gain a little advantage. But at the moment, Lewis fans, I can't see Lewis getting past Max. I don't know what more else Lewis can do that he hasn't done in the last 10 laps. Stunning drive from Max at the moment. On-track battles, that's a great little...
Yeah, I guess what it is, though, is just keeping that pressure on. Hoping that maybe Max might make a little error, a little understeer or something like that.
Totally right.
Where he can just get right up on him.
Totally. And that's the thing.
Actually,
Max is under pressure right now.
Yeah.
One little lock-up and his race is over. Look at this. By the way, the pace that these two are going at, look at the gap between Lewis and Bottas in third. 10 seconds.
Wow.
So the top two have really pulled away. And then the gap between the top 4 and Leclerc in 5th is an amazing 34 seconds.
Amazing.
So we really are looking at a different class from Mercedes and Red Bull.
Oh, he's getting close to him again.
Come on, Lewis. Now he's going to open DRS. That's a good angle, actually, coming around turn 1, turn 2, turn 3.
Can't get him, though.
And now he's going to open his DRS as we get onto the straight there on that line. Let's go, Lewis. Max already weaving in and out. You can't weave like that. Lewis again forced to go around the outside. It's not worked for him.
Can't get him again. Defended brilliantly again by Max Verstappen.
Max just weaving left to right. You are not allowed to do that in a braking zone. So I'd be interested to see what the thinking is behind that. But again, opting, as Ivan, our boy in the chat earlier said, Max is not going to give up the inside line there. Why would Max go on the outside? He's going to force Lewis around the outside.
Mr. Arthur says that's 5th and 6th for Ferrari, 18 points.
Yeah.
Brilliant news for Forza Ferrari. One McLaren already out and the other one is out of the points. So.
Yeah, and he's just jumped up actually to 10, so he's going to get 1 point as Norris. But yeah, Ferrari really staking their claim for third place. It looked a done deal for McLaren early on this season, but
anyway, 58 laps now, and there's still these two battling it out. Right at the front, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. And remember, who started in 11th place.
That's a little closer. Oh, he thought about going on the inside on turn 1 there. I think we would have seen a crash if he did, because Max, I tell you what, will not give this up. But this is the closest we have seen Lewis now in some time. He's about to open that rear wing. Keep that camera angle. Nah, you bastards.
Ooh,
here we go, Lewis. Oh, come on, baby.
He's passed
Robbie, he's done it, I
Lewis
think.
Hamilton is passed.
Fucking
and
get
in
in.
the lead. He's got past Max Verstappen.
The greatest of all time,
Wow.
Robbie. We're seeing him in his prime. His prime is now.
What an overtake.
Woo!
Can Verstappen come back at him?
No, baby, he cannot. There's no more DRS until the end of this, in which Lewis...
What a manoeuvre by
seems
Lewis
the quicker
Hamilton.
car.
What a brilliant race this is. We picked a scorcher here.
Come on!
Christian Horner doesn't look happy.
I said at the start,
Hamilton is
closer.
past him.
He's closer than he's been the whole time there. There was something different about that move. And again, Max has forced him around the outside. And Lewis got the job done before
I
he
might
even
have
got
to
there.
eat my words.
Yes.
I said that Matt was going mad at the end of this race for even suggesting
You did.
that Lewis Hamilton from 11th on the grid could possibly win this race. Now he's in the lead.
10th, but I know what you're saying. And listen, I walked in here and he called me a madman on his own show, in his own studio. He said, "You've lost your mind." I said, "Robbie, you just wait. This man can drive."
This is why you do the F1 off circuit.
This is why we're here, baby. Woo! Look at Toto celebrating. That was aggression from Toto.
It ain't over yet.
Finger
It
pointing.
ain't over yet. Let's remember, there's still a long way to go. Still, what, 11 laps?
Yeah. Do you know
Right,
what?
So still a long way to go.
Could Bottas now, find his testicles again and come for Max? It'd be great to see Max
just
drop
too
a
far
few
back
more
now.
points. He is at the moment.
It's that constant pressure, isn't it? He's just been
Constant.
on him. You imagine there's a driver like in Max Verstappen's position where this guy's just breathing down your neck the whole race. I mean...
You know something, Robbie? I've not seen a Mercedes follow another car for that many laps in a row and get away with it. That he just stayed behind him.
What's that? Black and white flag for...
Oh, told you, weaving on the straight, Robbie.
Weaving.
I told you that was the case.
You were right.
And again, there was
So what's the
people
penalty?
calling me biased in
So
there.
that'll be a penalty?
So black and white flag is effectively a yellow card. Means do it again and you are
Okay.
getting a penalty.
Okay.
But I did call that out. I'm really glad to see that that's come out
He
there.
knows everything, this guy.
I know it. Time stampers.
Hey,
Are we
Mercedes,
time stamping this?
Red Bull, sign them up. Mazapan, if you need someone for your strategy.
I'm here for you guys. Weaving like that though, it's
The
really
Strolls
dangerous.
will be on the phone and you see him sell his soul and he'll be gone.
No chance, actually. Strolls, I don't want the job. All right, before you offer me it, I don't want it. I'd never live with myself. But that's the point. That is such a dangerous thing to do, to weave at 200 miles an hour when somebody's trying to come round you. The rule is, Robbie, when it comes to a braking zone, we're just seeing a
Ocon
clip there, but
touching
I think
there.
they're okay.
That's Gasly and Ocon.
The rule is, when it comes to a braking zone, you're only allowed to move once in a braking zone. And that's so that the driver behind knows, if he comes in left, I can go right. But this idea of weaving like that is dangerous. Yeah.
I'm a blue dabba-dee dabba-die. And by the way, big up yourself, right?
Yeah, come on,
Because
man.
this guy always contributes on a lot of our football content, and
yeah?
also he's loving his F1.
What a guy.
He says, thoughts on Mazapan and Schumi. This has to be one of the best races this season. It's been a brilliant race.
It's been insane. Yeah,
The two best drivers are knocking in.
It's difficult to say a lot about Mazepan and Schumi. I think Mazepan just needs to fuck off, even though his dad's funding the team. Schumacher, I think, has got a career ahead of him. He's out-qualified his team.
You know what? You can say that what you're saying about like Mazapan and Stroll and these guys, but
Yeah.
do you also have to take that into account, that they are funding these teams? So, all right, his son might be getting a drive, but
Yeah.
he's also giving another person a drive, and
is.
a whole team is in a job.
He is, but are we to then say that if they didn't bring the funding that the team would fold? No, I think the funding would come from somewhere else. I've
Well,
heard
he
that-
has teams that, remember, it was a Force India. that
totally.
fold.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but that folded, so
it was
he
bought
kept it
out.
alive, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's coming in, but there's always going to be a rich guy out there who's going to want a piece of the action. I've actually heard, and I know this is only a rumour, but I've heard that you yourself are looking at buying the Haas team coming up and having a stake in Formula One.
that would be great, wouldn't
That's
it?
what it says in the chat, Robbie.
That would be great. Marcus says if someone is weaving at the straight, so dangerous, shouldn't it be a straight up penalty?
Yeah, now they've obviously, I think what I liked about the FIA this season is they are trying to give the season a chance. I don't think we want to see it now. We don't want it, nothing happened.
Yeah, I don't.
So to give a penalty now really kind of spoils it.
I don't think that should be a
penalty
penalty because at the end of the day, he weaved, but he didn't. It wasn't like he was near him and he weaved, was it?
However, if Hamilton hadn't have read that he was being naughty and weaving, if Hamilton takes him at the rules, which is you can only move once, Hamilton could have ploughed into the back of him and they're both out of the race. So I think it's right that he gets a black and white flag, which means basically a yellow card. Do it again, you're getting a penalty. And believe me, he won't be doing it again in this race.
He's starting to put
away.
a bit of distance between him.
2.5 seconds is the gap now. Lewis has got pace and he's got the fastest lap right now. So currently, he's taken an 8-point advantage over Max Verstappen if it ends like this.
Khalid says, yes, lads, get in there. We got this. Love you both.
Come on, Khalid. Yes, my man.
And the American brother says Verstappen been weaving the whole of the season.
Yeah,
The goddamn
he's been
season.
accused of it. It's the first time I've actually seen him, certainly this season, be penalised for it. I don't even think we've seen him get that before.
Guna NL, who's all race, has been bigging up Max. He says the race ain't over yet. Super Max, he's got his flags out again. He did say that he's been saying all along that Max has got this, but
3 seconds, Robbie. Now is the gap. 3.2.
says Sir Lewis. He is motoring down, and he's starting to look at you're starting to look at it and think to yourself, unless something happens to his car. John Cena says Hamilton's tyres must be suffering now. He has been having to drive and put loads of pressure on.
Yeah.
So maybe.
But as is Max's. Max has had to spend just as much tyre as Lewis, and here's the move again.
Yeah.
That was the crucial moment there.
weaving.
Watch Lewis weaving with him to get the toe. He's used that to his advantage. And now they're telling him, yeah, perfect, say hi. Bit of attitude from Max.
Max Verstappen, I love the guy. Trust me, man. Oh, say hi. He don't give a toss.
I think he's definitely working on trying to get funnier a little, building his brand a little better. I think he misses more than he hits with his humour, but that's good from him.
Lewis is in a comfortable spot, says Duper.
3.7 seconds now, Robbie.
Castry says, come on, Hamilton. And Amar says, yeah, perfect, say hi. Oh, it's brilliant. That was brilliant from Max. Elijah says, Robbie is a low-key Max Verstappen fan. I do like Max Verstappen. Hamilton's my guy.
Yes.
But I do like... Max Verstappen is great for this sport.
He's essential.
He's a great driver.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. And I still think he could win the title this year. I'd love to see Hamilton get that 8th title, but Max Verstappen, I remember this guy, ever since he's come into Formula One, he's just been brilliant.
He really has.
And this is about the first race this season. This is the thing I want to ask you, Matt. Is this significant? Because, honestly, this is the first race this season that it's almost like Hamilton's got a big advantage over him. There's been other races this season that Hamilton's squeezed out of, but, I mean, he's come from 10th on the grid.
Totally.
This is mad.
It is mad. You're absolutely right to point it out. In fact, it's the first time this season where all of the pre-race build-up and chat was, it doesn't matter where Lewis starts from, he's got a chance of winning. And that's the Lewis that we knew from 2019, 18, 17 and so on. But the 2021 season has not been going that way at all. A combination, I think, of the engine replacement for Lewis is going to play a big part of it. And listen, he's riled up now. He knows that the championship's slipping away and it's his job to reel it in.
Even for the extra point now, they can bring in Bottas, innit, and change his tyres and make him get that, innit?
Yeah, so they're going to leave it as it is right now. And what they're going to do is they're going to look at Max Verstappen. And if Max tries to take the point, they'll bring in Bottas to take it off Max.
Andrew M says, what a race, just need a banana to slip Max now.
That'd be good, actually, yeah.
You lot are evil.
Mario Kart style. I'm here for it.
I don't think Kuhn will be in a good shape right now.
Should we check in with Kuhn?
Well, let's wait until the end of the race. Because
okay, you want to do it at the end? I like
this ain't over yet.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what Formula One's like? I mean, a puncture could happen or anything could happen.
Yeah, I love that.
Just thinking, you're showing some of Hamilton's last 5 races. That race where he didn't finish.
Yeah.
That was the one where Hamilton and Verstappen had crashed out, innit? If he'd have won that race, he'd be sitting pretty now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. And I'm just trying to work out there. Somebody's asked in the comments there. Sorry, I've not seen who. Let me just see if I can get it. because it's nice to get the shout out, but I can't find it. Somebody's asked us what the point gap would be if it stays like this. Well, I think Max was 19 points ahead before today's race. So there's an 8-point swing for Lewis here. So 11 points would be the gap. That is doable. With 3 races to go for any of them. This has blown the championship wide open. 6 seconds now, Robbie. A second and a half Lewis has gained in the last 2 laps there. We're going,
Crazy.
We're motoring.
Anyway, let me run you down the top 10 at the moment in this race as it stands. Hamilton is leading the Brazilian Grand Prix. In second is Max Verstappen. Bottas in third. Perez in fourth. Leclerc and Sainz, the 2 Ferraris, in 5th and 6th. Pierre Gasly in 7th. Alonso having a great drive in 8th. Ocon in 9th. And Norris, who's moved up pretty well, in 10th. Absolutely.
Poor old Norris today started in 5th place, dropped all the way to 20th. He's done well to try and wrestle it back for his team for a point, but he's a long way off Ocon in 9th place there. I think that's going to be his race. With
VJ says, do you think losing Bottas is a big blow for Mercedes next season?
No. I think Mercedes are going to be, they're going to have their strongest proposition that they've had in a long, long time. George Russell coming through, I expect to hit the ground running in the Mercedes. I don't think it'll take him long to adapt. So I think Russell and Lewis at Mercedes is a lot more terrifying for their competitors than Bottas and Lewis.
I'm a blue dabba-dee says, don't forget about Norris. He had a puncher in the first round.
Absolutely.
And he's now number 10 with a car that isn't even as fast as Hamilton. Thoughts on Tsunoda, he says.
Yeah, my guy Tsunoda. Tsunoda, he got his 10-second penalty today. I'd love to know what he did so different that he gets 10 seconds instead of 5. But there's not a lot we can say with him, really. He's down in 15th place. You know, risked it all in the first lap and not got away with it. If we take his 10 seconds away, he's still only going to be running 14th. He's going to be behind George Russell. So not a great drive from him today.
Not a great drive, not a drive type. Bottas could take second, says LMS. Now, if Bottas could, how far is he behind?
7 seconds. There's an equal distance between Bottas and Max as there is between Max and Lewis.
No chance they're going to get him.
I don't think so either. But listen, I started today by saying Mercedes would be happy with a 1 and 3. They'd have been happy with Bottas, Max, Lewis. The fact that it's Lewis, Max, Bottas, they're taking a whole heap of points up against Red Bull this time. Mercedes are going to be very, very happy with the finish here with Bottas in 3rd place.
Brandon says, today was hammer time.
It was. Now, crucially, Perez is only 3 seconds behind Bottas. He was 2.8, so...
You see Hamilton on his radio asking, where is Bottas?
Good,
He's
P3,
doing a good job.
Just focus, Lewis. I know you're 8 seconds ahead, but keep your head down. It looks like Max really has conceded now, and more than anything, I think he's just trying to protect the points that he does have.
Yeah.
You can see now Max is not interested in getting
there's
tangled
no
up
point,
for a lead.
Yeah, no point. You're not going to catch him, is
So
he?
he's there like, so long as I stay well ahead of Valtteri, I'm happy.
Great race today. GG to Hamilton. I think Guna NL has been backing Max right throughout the races. He's also giving up on it as well.
Yeah.
And
fair.
Robbie, it's Leclerc, it's Leclerc.
I go with Charles Leclerc. Some do say Leclerc. I also say Alpine instead of Alpine because I'm from Yorkshire.
Leclerc.
Yeah, it's almost like chocolate eclair, you know, Leclerc. Yeah. But
I prefer Leclerc.
Yeah, I like that. You do you, man. You do you.
We're coming down to the last lap. Who's going to give you your driver of the day?
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Mazepin?
Yeah, Mazepin, obviously. It's the most clear.
Schumacher?
Anyone who can't bring themselves to still vote for Lewis Hamilton,
Ooh.
Perez.
Who's that struggling there?
No, Perez is coming in for a fastest lap opportunity.
Oh, okay. Very smart there by Red Bull to try and get the fastest lap.
Yeah, and Bottas isn't going to be able to cover this off. So they're stealing that point away from Lewis, which is exactly what you would expect Red Bull to try and do when they're in a battle for the championship here. They want that point off Mercedes.
Andrew
and off
says
Lewis.
You talked about rivalries in F1 earlier. 2 classic rivalries, Prost v Senna in the 80s.
Yeah.
And going back to the 70s, James Hunt versus Niki Lauda.
Yeah, incredible.
Definitely.
You've seen the film Rush as well?
I've seen the film Rush.
Great.
James says, guys, what are your thoughts on Ferrari next season with the new cars? I hope Lewis wins this season, but it's all Ferrari over here.
Nice. Yeah,
We
listen.
want to see a strong Ferrari.
Yeah, I want to see Lewis run at 8th so we don't have to worry about that anymore. It was too much stress this year. And then next year, I'm all for seeing Charles Leclerc and the Ferraris getting up there. I'm all for seeing Max going out there and doing bits. I think Norris in his McLaren is going to do some things. Perez is always going to be in with a shout. George Russell at Mercedes next year. I think we've got a real championship fight on our hands next year.
And DJ Ash saying, big up Don Robbie and Post Malone.
Oh, come on.
He's really enjoyed this. We are into the last lap. They're showing at the moment, I think that's Perez they're showing in, trying to hit the fastest lap.
Absolutely.
To get a point. But it's Lewis Hamilton is out in front. He's going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix from 10th on the grid. Remember, disqualified from the sprint race, had to start from last position.
How about this for poetry? Lewis started in 10th and has finished with 10-second lead on Max in second. It's all about the 10s.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible drive by Lewis Hamilton. It really is. I think he's really sort of shown what he's about in this race. We all thought he was dead and buried. I did anyway.
Yeah, are we going to address this again, are we? I walk in to this man's house up in here and say, Lewis could win
that's
today.
why you're here.
You called me a madman, and there it goes. Lewis
Lewis
Hamilton
Hamilton has won the Brazilian Grand Prix. Congratulations. What an incredible race. What an incredible victory. And Lewis Hamilton there is lapping it up.
Right now, here's his team radio, because we're not going to hear it. Thanks to everyone back at the factory. We're just so happy right now. Oh, I'm just so
thank
blessed.
you guys. Thank you to you guys.
Still we rise. Yes. LH
Verstappen
fam.
in second place. Bottas in third. And will Perez get that fastest lap?
That is the only thing we're waiting for now. Bottas has crossed the line. Currently, it was Hamilton who had the extra point. Here comes Perez. Oh, he did.
He did. He got that point.
Smart, evil, but smart from Red Bull on the soft tyre there. Perez holds down 4th place and takes the point for fastest lap.
You couldn't really bring in Bottas because he was in third place, couldn't you?
Yeah, so it would have literally meant missing out on third, and I think Horner will have
Let's
known
get
that.
Kuhn on the phone, man.
Yeah, come
Let's
on.
get Kuhn on the phone.
Get him up here.
That's if he answers.
Yeah, if I was him, I wouldn't answer. I have to say.
Well, what a fantastic win by Lewis Hamilton. Let's see if we can get Kuhn up. Not sure if he'll answer our phone. Kuhn over there in Amsterdam. Of course, a massive Max Verstappen fan. Doesn't seem to be answering at the moment. Kuhn, you there?
Oh, I love it. If he doesn't answer, he's going to get more stick.
He's not answering.
Guys, you can see there, he is not answering this one. That is a no answery for Kuhn.
DFN for Kuhn.
Oh!
There he is.
Are we ready? Get in there, Lewis! Come on, son!
Yeah, congrats, mate. That was an outstanding driving for Lewis today.
It was, because Lewis ultimately deserves to win this championship, right?
Well, we have to see. At least the championship stays alive till the end of the season, and isn't concluded today. So, crazy.
It was a great race, though, wasn't it, Kuhn?
Yeah, mate. This is why we love racing, is it?
It is
Definitely.
exactly why we love racing.
Head to head, going at it. It's the most beautiful thing of it.
Quickly, Kuhn, what's your take on the Lewis and Max incident there? Obviously, Max got a black and white flag for weaving under the braking zone, which you can't do, so we don't need to discuss that. Do you think that Max was at fault? Do you think he pushed Lewis off the track before that?
No, there was absolutely no contact whatsoever. So, guys appeal looked at it. It was fair racing, and
Yeah.
if he would have got a 5-second penalty, you would have never seen Lewis overtake Max like that 2 laps.
Oh,
after.
agreed.
So,
Do you know, did you hear me on the stream? I was actually backing Max and saying I don't think he did anything wrong, but I just wanted to see if you would give us that soundbite, you know?
No, that was a fair overtake of Max back again. This is what racing is about, man. If we can give everybody 5-second penalties for every fucking overtake there is, and it's not completely by the book, yeah, man. We can watch accountants do accounting, but I love seeing race drivers race.
Come on. We're with you on that.
fantastic.
Bro, thanks for joining us. We'll
Kuhn,
catch up soon.
Listen, we got to catch up soon, man. Hopefully we can get you here in the studio for what's going to come down to be like a deciding race. There's absolutely 2 incredible drivers at the moment. Going at it, it's just incredible to watch.
See you later, Don.
See you, bud.
And then, night.
Take care.
Peace.
We are watching something special this season. We've got two unbelievable drivers, and Lewis Hamilton. I think that was that was the most exciting race probably of the season.
Big time. It's
Brilliant.
right up there. I mean, we've had a few great moments to pick through. I can't wait to almost do a roundup at the end of the season and talk about some of these moments. But yeah, we are privileged to be living in the good times. This weekend, Lewis Hamilton has gone from setback to setback and has still managed to come through and deliver when the odds are up against him. And we talk about Max being under pressure. Let me tell you now, this man, Lewis Hamilton, is under mad pressure with so many points behind and trailing at the moment. And look at him lapping it up now. The Brazilian fans love him there. He's always paid respects. I don't know if you know, he actually, and he changes his helmet every time he comes to Brazil. He puts a Brazil flag on there for his childhood hero, Ayrton Senna.
The mental toughness of Lewis Hamilton, it's all going against you. Totally. You've had to change your engine, so you got a penalty. You had to, you've got that, because of your wings, so you've been pushed back. And then to still come and win it, to still not give up. I mean, it's really inspiring. I think to see what he's done today. It's actually inspiring.
It really is.
When you're out there sometimes and you're thinking, there's no point.
Yeah. When you talk about greatest of all time, for me, there's two things that you need. Yes, you have to have the results to back it up, but on top of that, you have to have that something extra, whether that's the mental capacity or whatever it is, that never give up. He calls it, still I rise. It's that I'm going to keep coming back and doing it. And for me, that's why the rest of the grid at the moment can't put a claim on it, because they don't have those two things in combination just yet. And I mean, phenomenal. His driving has spoken for itself this weekend.
Who's that who fell over there? Was that Toto Wolff?
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
Mr. Further says, yes, Ferrari, 5th and 6th, 18 points, and McLaren only scored 1. Yes, onwards to Qatar.
Huge. Listen, we've been harping on about it all the way through, but how Ferrari have managed to turn things around from the start of this season, where really it was all McLaren, to really holding down third place. I'm so impressed with Ferrari. Killing it.
I'm a Blue Dabadee says, if everyone had an assistant like Lewis Hamilton, his life would be perfect.
Oh, no doubt.
His assistant,
Angela.
I've read about her actually, and he said that that she is literally.
She is his performance coach, well-being coach. She looks after everything. We talk about his mental strength and stuff. She looks after his mental well-being, his physical well-being, his nutrition, absolutely every part of his life. And you can see, I'm sure that's something that massively has paid off for him. Absolutely incredible. And Lewis Hamilton has won the Grand Prix, and it's absolutely amazing. They're showing Bottas, who finished in 3rd. Remember, Bottas started, it's incredible, we're forgetting about this. Yeah. Bottas started in pole position. He did. Now, here's an interesting stat. I think for the last 4 or even 5 races, the only person to have not won from pole position here is Bottas, and he's done it twice. Every other pole sitter has gone on to win the race, but we're not mad. It's worked out perfectly. If you're a Mercedes fan, a Lewis fan, even a Max fan, to be honest with you, it means that this title race is wide open going into Qatar next week, where it's all to go for. Okay, let me just run you guys through the results of the race. In 1st place was Lewis Hamilton. 2nd place, Max Verstappen. 3rd, Bottas. 4th, Perez. Perez, of course, got the fastest lap as well, so got an extra point for that. Leclerc in 5th, Sainz in 6th, Gasly 7th, Ocon 8th, Alonso, great drive by him in 9th, Norris, a fantastic drive from him as well. Yeah. When you considered all the problems he had, he came in at 10th, Vettel 11th, Raikkonen 12th, Russell in 13th, Giovinazzi 14th, Tsunoda in 15th, Latifi 16th, Mazepin in 17th, and in 18th, Ricciardo did not finish, and nor did Stroll. Absolutely. Oh, hold on, who's that? Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher. He didn't finish. He did finish. Yeah, he came in right for the he came in for the repair on his cars. Totally. And that means that as it currently stands, So I think the gap in the championship should be around 11 seconds, or it's maybe actually 12 points coming in. Let's just see if they've updated it on here. No, we've not got an update here
Haven't
yet.
got an update yet.
But we'll get it. I have to say, well, firstly, obviously, thank you for having us back on. And Robbie is joining us on Off Circuit. For those of you who didn't find it last week, if you find our YouTube channel, Off Circuit F1, you'll see our post-race analysis of me and Robbie. We run through the highlights, the lowlights. We go for driver of the day, donkey of the day, and everything in between. And we're going to be doing that again tonight. So keep an eye out for that.
Definitely.
This is so much fun, eh?
13 points are saying, Callum.
Okay, 13 points.
Mind you, Rwanda's saying 14 points.
Yeah, nice.
But it might be 13 because of that extra point.
We're seeing it up here. It's 13 points.
13 points.
Yeah. So actually now, the championship battle, you know, people, like I say, they really want to know. Oh, so it's over now, right? Oh, it is over now, though? It is absolutely not over. 13 points with 3 races to go. First and second, which is a swing of 7 points, that means if Lewis wins the last 3 and Max comes second, there's a 21-point swing advantage for Lewis, so he'd win the championship by 8 or 9 points. So this championship is wide open. Max now is going to be very nervy going into Qatar, and you like to ask me about who's favoured where.
Yeah, I was just about to answer.
Qatar and Saudi Arabia are new tracks, but it's suspected that they're going to favour Mercedes. Abu Dhabi, the last race, is probably Mercedes' most dominant track in the calendar. It's theirs at the end there. So it really now, as I was saying before the American Grand Prix a few weeks ago, Mercedes needed to just survive the South American part to be able to go back to the Middle East and do what they usually do there.
And they've actually ended up doing better than survive it.
They've ended up winning in Brazil from 10th. And look at the smile. It's great to see, actually. Well, if you like Lewis, it's great to see Lewis smiling. And, you know, he's probably feeling like there's a bit of momentum this weekend, winning qualifying, having an amazing time on the sprint race yesterday, and then coming through and winning today. He's on a high.
Absolutely incredible. You can see there's thousands upon thousands of fans there, and it's great to see the fans back.
Yeah.
Because we know that Brazil's had problems with COVID, but it's just great to see the fans back there. Making their way down to the podium where the winners will go up. But Lewis Hamilton is the winner of the Brazilian Grand Prix. When he walked into the building today, I said that this guy was going mad for suggesting that Lewis could win it.
You did actually. Very rude, you know, for a guest to walk up in here. I bring my fancy whiskies, you know, we try and get along. And straight away you were at me. You said, I think you asked me how much I've been drinking already today. Now, granted, a couple, Robbie, you know me. But, yeah, very rude, actually. I think, is this the moment where
What made you think he could win it?
Is this the moment where you publicly apologise on camera for getting it wrong?
Anyway, I've got another super chat here. I'm a blue Davide says, do you think that George Russell will accept being second driver like Bottas is to Lewis? Might be another Lewis-Nico Rosberg situation.
Oh, interesting. You're right to highlight it. Yes, I do think he'll accept it. I think he's grown up with almost enough of that respect that I think Russell's going to be going, I'm going to get 2 years of learning under possibly the greatest of all time. And then Lewis is going to leave and it's my time to shine. So I don't think that he's going to come in this with an attitude of, I'm here to disrupt, I'm here to fuck Lewis off and mess things up. I think he's there thinking, yeah, I'm going to learn from the best and I'm going to pick up a load of podiums along the way, personally.
Toto Wolff looking very happy. He's even taking his mask off.
Do you know something? I haven't seen Toto react like that in a long time. When Lewis finally got the move done, did you see him? He over to the camera, he gave it a like, yes! Yeah. And from the back of the garage there, that's, he usually keeps his cool, does Toto. Very cool.
Mace Windows says Matt has Martin Brundle knowledge.
Oh, I don't know. Martin Brundle's an all-time legend.
He's
but
brilliant, Martin Brundle. He's brilliant.
I just love it, Robbie. I think there's so many people, and you all know this. Those who are still here and watching, you're here because you love F1, and you're probably in the minority when it comes to your mates. You know, football is something we all can agree that we enjoy, but there's not as many F1 fans. But mark my words, over the next 10 years, the reason the Americans bought the sport from Bernie Ecclestone, with Drive to Survive, more American Grand Prix coming, F1, I think, is about to come into a heyday. I think we're going to see a lot more people interested in the sport. It's a good time to be a fan.
Anyway, up onto the podium comes, and I will publicly apologise to Matt.
Oh, here we go.
For calling him mad, for saying that he was drunk, for coming on to suggest that Lewis Hamilton would win. Lewis Hamilton comes up onto the podium. He's waving the Brazilian flag.
Come on,
Toto Wolff as well. The fans are really appreciating him. He has won the Brazilian Grand Prix. Woo-hoo! Massive win for Lewis Hamilton. Puts him right back in the title race. it has swung Mercedes' way. Verstappen in second place, Valtteri Bottas in third. Congratulations going out to Lewis Hamilton. They're going to do the anthems and
can I say,
the champagne
that
splash.
in itself is a huge statement from Lewis to wrap himself in a Brazilian flag here. And please don't take that as a slight if you're British and thinking, well, where's our flag? He's just there paying respects. You know, let's not forget Ayrton Senna, who was Lewis's, but a lot of people's idol growing up, tragically died in F1. That was something that really rocked the whole nation. He was an absolute rock star in Brazil. So Lewis just paying that kind of respect. This isn't about him when he holds a Brazil flag. This is about Ayrton Senna and saying, hey, I wouldn't be here possibly if it wasn't for him. Very cool from him. GOAT behaviour, I dare say.
Fantastic. Sai says Mercedes has insane cars. Definitely, and their cars have come back into their own. And I was thinking Verstappen was going to do this, but now, after you're saying to me now that those racetracks suit Mercedes, has it swung back?
Well, I think here's the important thing to remember. If those tracks were Mercedes tracks and Lewis was the one with the 13-point lead, then you could say, okay, I feel strong that it's over. What's exciting for all of us is they might be Mercedes tracks, but Max wins 1 out of 3 of those, and it's almost out of reach for Lewis as it is, you know, like it's so really and truly Max is always in the driving seat. As long as he's got that 13-point lead, he's in the driving seat. If he wins in Qatar, he'll go up to a 20-point lead with only 14 points available if we talk in the last 2 races of first and second. So it goes back to needing Max Verstappen to screw up and have a bad run to win it. If he comes second and Lewis wins, then Lewis takes a 7-point lead. So it comes down to 7 or 8 points, 6 points. My maths is terrible. 6 points in favour of Max, and Lewis has chipped away at him. So if Max can beat Lewis in Qatar, really and truly, Max then has to majorly fuck up in the final 2 races. And at the moment, I can't see Max slipping up. I can see him coming second in races, but I can't see him coming lower than second.
Bottas is going to have a big part to play.
Yeah,
Bottas could still be a big part of where this championship goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was important. I mean, Bottas, let's not forget, by winning the sprint race, took an extra point off Max yesterday. Max got 2 points in the sprint instead of 3. So he's had a slight impact there, but it would have been nice to see a Mercedes 1-2 just for those extra points.
But I'm saying in the other races.
Yeah.
You know, so
totally.
Bottas is going to be very important, very, very important in the last few races.
Yeah.
For definite.
Yeah, and equally so is Perez. You know, if Perez really turns up and performs. Can I just say this, actually, just while we're seeing the champagne going there? Max Verstappen, I'm surprised, looks as cool as he does. He's smiling, he's happy, he's joining in with the champagne celebrations. We've seen title battles before where he would feel so nervy that Lewis has had his moment here that actually he'd do a quick bit of this and he'd sod off and he wouldn't smile and he wouldn't do photos. Credit to Max, he seems relaxed. He seems like he's having a good time still.
Well, he should do. He's still in the lead of this.
Big time he is.
Right, listen, we're going to wrap it up. Let me just do a few more super chats here. VJ says, if Hamilton and Max finishes 1 and 2 in all 3 races, Hamilton wins.
He does
Hashtag
win.
wishful thinking.
And he would win by 7 or 8 points as well.
Yep. Kieran says, is Max getting a penalty? No, he will not.
Nope.
They decided that on a thing. And Robbie and Matt, the race is done. So that's from Abba Mill. And Hamilton destroyed the arrogant Verstappen, says Raymond. Get in there, Lewis, says the shrew 88. Thank you very much. Listen, I want to thank you guys all for watching this watch along. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's been a fantastic race today, as all the drivers are up on the podium with a Brazilian flag, including Verstappen. Well done to him for that as well. Showing a lot of class there.
Absolutely.
And well done to you guys for watching this stream.
Yeah.
Bigging up to Matt. Don't forget you can check out his brilliant channel, Off Circuit. I'm going to be on the channel tonight.
Woo!
Again, tell them where they can find it.
You can find us at Off Circuit F1, all one word. You'll find us on TikTok, Instagram, you name it. But YouTube, we appreciate every subscription. It makes a huge difference when you're as small as we are. And yeah, come through. The Don himself's going to be back tonight, and we're going to get through it. There's a lot to say.
Please make sure you subscribe to his channel, Off Circuit. It's an absolutely brilliant channel. Deserves a lot of love. Trust me, you've heard him today. You hear his knowledge. You hear, he knows this thing inside out. So make sure you get behind him. Thank you very much for being with us today on the Don Robbie channel. And we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe here as well. Thank you to the team, to Jason and Darius, and we'll see you again on the next video. But the big result is that Lewis Hamilton has won the Brazilian Grand Prix.